I met Jen off YouTube, in the comment section. Wow. I met like so many
Your
people.
Your girlfriend, Jen?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
We've
crazy.
been 5 years together.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Today, right? Until today, right? If you look for
the podcast.
No, on YouTube, I do vlogs.
Oh, so your vlog? Okay.
Yeah. So
it'd be crazy if because of Yamcha sessions, you all met lah. Next thing you know, he's gonna date you, bro.
Alright guys, welcome back to the next episode of Yamcha Sessions. Right here, he's your favorite host, Sarawanan MC Black, and he is...
I'm John.
Come on, John, come right the way.
Jonathan Events.
Yes, and he is...
It's Roeshan from the Rumah Roy Podcast.
You just call yourself MC Black?
Yeah, that's
nice,
his name.
man.
I know. I wish I had that confidence. I'm event manager John. EM John.
Indian man confidence.
Indian man
Y'all can't say anything. I'm calling myself Black. Y'all can't say anything.
Actually, this is the last episode that we're going to do in this room.
This room, yeah.
So
I'm honoured, man. I'm honoured.
Yeah, man. It's fucking epic how we've gone through all this, but then we're going to move to a bigger and better studio.
Yes.
I feel. It's for the better of everybody also.
I mean, to be honest, for me as a podcaster, I really envied your setup. So I was really shocked to hear that you're moving.
Huh?
Yeah. I thought you guys were like...
Oh, this is all low cost. If Tony Fernandez was here, I like your LCCT. He's low
This
cost terminal,
TV
man.
was around since Andrew and I were like
PS3?
15.
No, but legit, for podcasters, I think when they see you have a screen, they're like, oh, this is some serious shit.
Yes.
You have a screen, this is no joke.
Yeah, no.
I honestly think, right, it's the foam padding.
Yeah, I think because it's darker, so it looks like really professional.
TV, right? It's TV, right?
It's the TV.
It's the TV, bro.
It's everything
I
together.
don't know, but I think the new studio has its nicer perks.
Got TV, not?
And there's a larger space, and you can finally don't need to climb under the table and shit. I don't know. It's been a pain in the ass. Okay, we're gonna start with the questions. So the introduction. I know that you stumbled upon Yamcha Sessions first one, right?
Yeah.
Because I do, for the love of God, right? I never fucking find Malaysian podcasts online. Because the search algorithm for some reason is fucking difficult. Then you have to click, and then you scroll, and then you're like, by then you just forget about it.
For you mean YouTube or?
Yeah, YouTube lah. But then I search on YouTube. I don't search on Spotify.
Do we actually search Malaysian podcasts until 3 years ago? No, right?
No, because I do the tagging for YouTube, so I see it ma. So normally I would have to find right. So it's either my tagging is shit, or basically YouTube is not Malaysian.
Actually, the problem is that not many Malaysian podcasts on YouTube.
Oh.
That's the problem. So I do a lot of stalking on Spotify, but actually Spotify also is not friendly. It's not a platform for podcasts. It's a music streaming platform.
That's it.
So it sucks lah, but
acquisition of Joe Rogan also did. It's like they tried to make it very podcast friendly, but it's very, very biased towards him because he gets everything. He gets like the audio, he gets the visual.
But even Joe Rogan, okay, I give you an example with Joe Rogan. Now that Joe Rogan is fully on Spotify, I actually don't know what's going on with Joe Rogan. What happens is I'll go on YouTube and then a clip will come. They only put 1-2 clips, so I'll see, oh, Dave Chappelle is on. Then I will go and find him on Spotify.
Exactly what happened to me.
That's the problem.
I didn't even know Dave Chappelle was on Spotify until he posted on his Insta. Then I'm like, hey, Dave Chappelle on Joe Rogan. What the fuck?
Yeah, because when you're on YouTube, it pops up as a recommendation. With Spotify, it's not like that.
Yeah.
So it's
a different UI based thing. So it's like when you go on Spotify, normally it's a habitual thing. You will listen to the music because it's like catered to that shit, right?
Yeah, its algorithm is amazing for recommending music.
Yeah, but
I've discovered great music on Spotify because of that algorithm.
Yeah.
But podcast, no.
It doesn't even recommend me good podcasts actually. I only listen to Peter Crouch's podcast, your podcast, because now it's mostly on Spotify. And Joe Rogan. But Joe Rogan also I stopped. I feel like there's this sense of control from the back. Do you feel that? When he speaks now, right? On Spotify, there's a certain limit what he can say. Really.
I don't think it's control, but I think his platform is so big now because he even recently he just kinda whacked one more time. Yeah, he's been getting whacked. First, he kinda whacked because he said he was talking about vaccines, and so he said some stuff that people took to mean that he doesn't support you getting vaccinated. Okay. So he got blowback for that. People are reporting this on news outlets, Then recently he said he was talking about white men.
Okay.
Then he was talking about how this cancel culture. He was basically talking about cancel culture and how if we continue down this path, eventually white men are not going to be able to talk about anything.
No, but he's got a point though.
Yeah, but he got major black back. Yeah, major
bro
black. I heard black back. No, blow back. And he had to like kind of, because another thing is people were criticizing him because they felt like you are talking about white people not being able to speak, especially men, but then you have one of the biggest platforms in the world.
Yeah.
So that's why he got criticized lah. But I think that's the reason why he's more like reserved, because he knows that whatever he says, if he goes out of line, the blowback is just insane.
Yeah, it's like millions of people that hate you, you know.
Dude, I saw on YouTube Sky News from Australia talking about Joe Rogan about this thing.
What the fuck?
Bad publicity is still publicity.
No, but not this thing lah. I feel like this one is like bad branding for him in a way, because it makes him look like he's like this white elitist motherfucker like that, you know.
But can't he just
because
say
people read the
whatever he
headline of
want?
the news, they don't read the whole, you know, like paragraph thing. They just see, oh, Joe Rogan is in the support of white males only or some shit like that. Then
But he is right to a certain extent. Like there is a podcaster I know of in Malaysia. I don't think I'll say his name because I don't know whether I can say it. But
wow,
he I'll tell you after the podcast. But he blew up like crazy, like insane kind of blow up because he got called out on Twitter by a feminist. Overnight he got like 50,000-60,000 followers on TikTok. Yeah,
Is that a good followers or bad followers?
good. He blew up like crazy after he
what
got called
did-
out.
What did he say?
What did he not? What did he not do? What did he not do?
I don't know whether I can talk about this, but he just
Why?
posted. I don't know, because he told me about this. I never asked him whether I can say, tell, because he told me this in confidence. So I don't know whether I can talk about it. But anyway, he just said something about women. He posted a video and then he got called out on Twitter. And after that, his following just grew like
So I guess we
crazy.
should talk about women more often lah. Then we can
Sexist things lah, or perceive sexist things, will blow up.
I think women are beautiful creatures.
You're not going to blow up. No?
We need to circle back to the question. I think we strayed too far already.
Yeah.
How did you stumble upon your sessions?
So I do a lot of podcast talking. And honestly, I can't even remember how.
Was it recommended? Or?
It might have been.
Is it Jovina Choi?
Jovina one was the pinnacle lah,
No, I don't think
Not
so.
Jovina Choi lah.
Was it this setting or was it the old setting?
This setting, definitely this
Oh, it was
setting.
this setting.
It was this
Okay,
setting. It was
okay.
this setting.
It was around last year then.
Yeah, because I only started podcasting about 1 year ago, almost there. So I think maybe it was sometime. When did Justin Wong come on?
Justin Wong. Early this year, I
But
think.
Justin was not last year though.
No, it was
Last-
early this year, last year-ish, end of the year. He's the last podcast of 2020, I think.
So I think I had heard you guys on YouTube a little bit, but then I think the real full episode I ever heard was Justin's episode.
I see.
And then something really odd happened. I finished listening to the entire episode. I went to I listened on my way to my office. I reached my office and I got an email from Justin.
Huh?
Serious.
Justin.
The same Justin. It was
Don't
so weird.
fuck around, man.
How if you see
Do you
that
know Justin?
No, so y'all spoke to Justin about my podcast. So after that, he emailed me. He emailed me because he was promoting some movies.
Yeah.
So
On
he
Kini,
emailed me. So right after I listened to the episode, he emailed me like, "Hey bro, I heard about you from Yamcha Sessions. Was wondering whether we could do some collaboration." Then I was like, if you ask him for the email, I emailed him back. I was like, "Bro, I literally just finished listening to the episode. It was so weird."
The insensate type of shit, man.
Yeah, it was
Damn
crazy.
it, bro.
Glitch in the matrix.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. Google whoever listening to us, man. God damn it.
What the
Shit.
fuck?
That's some spooky ass fuck crap, man.
So especially after that, when we connected even more, I started listening to your episodes, and then I've been listening quite consistently.
Fun question. What's our favorite episode?
My favorite episode,
Yeah.
of yours. You had this. Okay, I don't think you. Okay, you know that the public speaking guy MJ. Is that his name?
No,
He's a
MJ lah.
viral-
He's a
he's
viral.
a
He's a stock
finance
finance
person.
Oh right. No, that's not the guy. Oh sorry, my
You're
bad.
talking about Wing Kyong, right?
No. The public speaking dude. The wolf trainer.
Oh, wolf trainer.
Wolf
Okay.
trainer. Because the wolf trainer, the episode started off boring. But then it started off boring.
Not boring. I need to rewatch
For me,
the
It's
episode.
hilarious at the end. lah.
For me, but then he picked up like crazy. And you all managed to get him to open up like mad. Like
It's the trio.
he started off as a corporate guy, but then he ended up just like a normal dude.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
So after that, I was like, this guy's really got some skill lah. And I've gone on so many podcasts. Whenever people ask me to recommend podcasts, I'll always recommend your podcast.
Wow, fuck.
100%.
I need to argue, bro.
You want
But
me to suck your
social
dick, is it?
distancing.
You want me to suck your dick right now? You want me to suck your dick right now? I'll suck your dick right now.
We got that.
You want it, right? Just say it, man.
Fuck, man. See, that's what I say. Aiyo.
Relax, brother.
Okay.
Okay. So go back to the next question. Yeah?
Okay, sure.
No, I'll ask the next question. Okay. So, right, I was listening to a couple of your podcasts, and then you mentioned, I just touched a bit on your career before we go into podcasting.
Sure,
I know the podcast at this point is like 20 minutes, 30 minutes in, and then we start talking about Jack only, right?
My other goal is I want to be the longest guest on your podcast. I'm gonna try.
Too long, man. Too long. You know, our recent revelation was to.
Do you saw Iheng's one?
Yeah, is that?
Sorry to spoil you. But our recent revelation was to try to limit it between 1.5 hours.
No lah, what's wrong with you?
You can no longer go that way. I'm
Why
so
you
sorry.
psycho?
Bro.
Okay,
so
lah.
sorry, bro.
You know, I believe this is destiny, lah.
Destiny.
God has sent me here to fix things.
I don't know. You can't fix what is fixed.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
can't fix what is fixed.
That's what I'm saying.
What is fixed?
Okay, no. Okay, this is another thing. Y'all were talking on.
I feel like this guy coming and talking about us more than we need to talk about him, lah. You know? Yeah. You should talk. You should talk about this next week when you are talking to us. You know?
No, I should come on your podcast and talk about your podcast. Then y'all come on my podcast and talk about my podcast.
So whatever.
No,
man.
okay. Y'all said that y'all wanted. I think John was saying that all of y'all made a decision that there'll be less cursing.
Oh, yeah, highlight already, this one.
Something like that.
Oh, that one, right? Is like, say for example, we get actual.
I might as well smoke a cigarette right now already.
Actual people from the industry whereby we talk about how it would benefit them for kids. So if we have
Sponsors.
topics like that, then we will have less cursing. And
Okay,
everything.
let me tell you, when your content is which two anime girls are you going to bang, you're never going to get kid friendly.
That's why I say we depends on the guest.
No, your content is already a specific way. So I give you an example. Okay, legit guys. If you go on Spotify right now,
Okay.
there's a podcast called
You're
comedy
really
podcast.
fueling into
The
John
comedy
right now, you know?
Podcast.
Yeah.
No,
did John
man,
pay you
I
or something?
sincerely believe this.
Harith.
Okay, this comedy podcast, right? It's number top. At first, it was top 5 in Malaysia.
Wow.
Then it was recently, I think it's 7th or 8th. It's fighting with Joe Rogan. After Dave Chappelle, he's fighting with Joe Rogan. Genie Boy is 50 on the charts.
Who's Genie Boy?
Genie Boy is 50.
Who's
Ming
Genie
Ting
Boy?
is, I think, 70, 80. Harith is
Top 10
top 10. 2 episodes ago, you know what he was talking about?
Which anime girl you should
He was talking about his girlfriend giving him a blowjob, and the whole episode revolved around that. And he is top 10 on Spotify.
Competing with Joe
because of
Rogan.
blowjob.
Because he's
Gives an importance of how
you know
important
why?
is blowjob, you know.
Because right, it's about honest conversation, and people can tell when it's honest or not.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the difference.
Correct. But what you're missing out, what you are failing to see, we said that we want to have some. Can't really disclose this thing, but John not.
No, I understand. You guys are from the corporate. You're more a corporate-minded background.
We are trying
So
to.
you're thinking
from law.
I am not from a corporate-minded business.
He's an MC.
No,
I'm an
but
MC,
you
mate.
feel like, but it's your own business, right?
Yeah.
So you have to sell yourself in a particular
yeah.
way.
Yes,
so
So
you know
have
how
to sell. Okay, you see, when we talk about podcast, right? So maybe we are skipping in terms of skipping a question.
We
right?
are very far.
Yeah, very far away.
But it's
Very
okay.
far. But fuck it, okay. So right now,
for 4 hours.
in your
I'm saying to the camera, 4 hours. we're
because
gonna do this.
the thing about this podcast, right? We came to a conclusion that we would like to impact the certain individuals.
Okay.
In which we decided that it's going to be fresh graduates and students.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So if we want to go to that direction, there are certain things we have to do and what we can't do.
Yeah.
And that's why cursing is one of the things, and definitely not blowjob as well. Because for example, if institute says that, you know what, that is a good platform we can sponsor, that is actually a money making opportunity.
But I think we have to delete all the old episodes already.
well, that's fair. Like, if you want to get like tailors to sponsor
Yeah,
you or
and
whatever, then of course
then
you
we
can't
have
be
to
doing
go
that.
away, and that's why sometimes if you are a dude from corporate and really involves towards how fresh graduate can come, then maybe there will be less cursing and be much more structure, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the reasoning of what. At least now you understand why.
But it's a shame, right?
No, but if my thing is what I would say is if you were to continue down your previous content,
Yes.
you can still get tailor.
shine.
Okay, like Harith, for example, right? His podcast is super crude, you know. It's not for me lah. I personally don't listen to all of it. Really, really crude stuff.
gonna
But he
follow
has a
it.
sponsor.
Bro, a lot of people like
He has a
blowjob,
sponsor.
bro.
Is it a
His
dildo?
sponsor is
Durex.
It's a dildo.
What's
Dildo?
Crack House Comedy? What's that?
TDDI.
I think so lah.
No fucking way, bro.
They
They
sponsor
sponsor him.
Yeah.
Bro, Crack House don't even have money, bro.
He might be doing them a solid assault, like it might be a bit of both lah. But he has a sponsor because that fits his team, his brand.
Yeah. Bro, Crack House quite hardcore, bro.
So-
you know, I did stand up at Crack House before.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit, man. I couldn't imagine doing that.
It's fucking hard. Fun fact, Justin Wong's ex-wife.
I thought you were going to tell me Justin Wong did stand-up comedy. I got a shock of my life.
Yeah.
I did it with him, his ex-wife, and one more staff on that same night.
Justin Wong?
Yeah. 5 minutes
Dude,
on
I
stage.
had Justin Wong on my podcast. I find this very hard to believe.
It's very difficult. But he was funnier than me.
Huh?
Yeah. And I would like to think I'm a funny guy, man.
No shit to Justin, but Justin strikes me as someone who's like really
like follow routine.
like his words. He's very careful with his words.
Yeah.
He's very straight, very particular. Wow.
Yeah, my
I
ex-boss-
would imagine you doing stand up, bro.
Bro, I can tell you, right, the people that are
cannot.
funny
I
on
cannot.
the spot, it's very difficult to curate funny on the stage.
I cannot, yes. But
It's very tough.
I go with the flow.
Yeah.
I see what's going on, I capitalize, I bam. But you ask me to
bam.
go on stage,
It takes time.
I'll be the joke, lah, you know?
No, actually, you know what's worse? I
What?
think if you are the joke, it's good. But if nobody laugh,
Then
oh
fuck,
my
bro.
God.
But
the feeling
Actually, I don't know though. People laughing with you and people laughing at you is different.
I
Oh
think
no,
it's
but
better.
Like people laughing at you because you're
can see.
bombing, right? That's
You can
different
see,
though.
You can see.
I think when you're bombing and people are laughing at you,
Is-
at least got sound, bro.
Oh, you mean dead silence? So shit.
You know what? I when I was doing that night, right? When I was doing stand that night, there was an uncle who came up, and you know what? When you do stand comedy, it's like a fine line between like talking about politics and all that shit. So people can take it seriously, or you can take it as a joke. So this guy was talking about how our government is a joke, right? So started off like that, you know, all that. But he's like an uncle in his 50s, kind of like my dad's age, some more, you know. So he went on. Then people were like, huh, quite funny, huh, quite. Then after that, in the end, he became quite serious, you know. Bro, it became a rant, you know.
It's like some
Okay,
Dave Chappelle
nice.
thing.
Yeah, he just started talking, you know, right? The government fucking stupid, you know. You know, we pay so much taxes, then the road all still like that. Then you're like, it's quite obvious, right?
So were people laughing? No.
No. Then I'm like, oh my god, this guy is just bad, man. But you get a free drink,
Nice.
Maybe this is his version of a therapy session, like instead of
Maybe.
paying for it, he just goes out.
Cannot rent to the wife, rent to all of us, like, you know what I'm saying? At least get a free drink, like, you know?
But it's tough, man, doing it.
But you know what's tough? Studying. So how was your studying in BSc?
It was okay.
You know why I asked that question?
You want to give BAC to sponsor you, right?
No. Actually, I wanted. Okay, this is probably gonna fuck the sponsorship, lah. Especially since I said that, lah, right? But there was this scene, right, in your podcast. You said that you know how people spoon feed. They say BAC breastfeed.
You know the saying is always you get spoon fed, right? So like people always give you the things so you don't have to work for anything.
What
so
the
we
fuck
used
is
to
that?
joke in BAC. BAC took it to one step further. They don't only spoon feed you, they breastfeed you straight away. Dude, when you go to BAC, it's a testament to how good they are, but at the same time it's not. Like for me, the way I describe BAC, I know a lot of people BAC. I know the owners of BAC.
It's Raja Singhal.
Raja Singhal. He's a genius. He's a nice guy, fantastic dude, right? But BAC is good for you like how McDonald's is good for you. Okay?
That sounds bad.
It's tasty as heck, it's fast and efficient, it's cheap, but in the long term probably not healthy for you. lah.
Oh, why?
Okay, so when you join BAC, they give you a textbook, they give you a summary of the textbook which are notes, they give you keynotes, they give you Q&A, they give you answers to the Q&A. They give you everything.
So why are you going
All
there?
you have to do is just memorize. That's all. You never have to go into the library and open a textbook. You never have to go into the library and search a case. You don't have to use LexisNexis or whatever CLJ to find cases. So when you actually become a lawyer and your partner says, what's the principle with contract if, for example, if it's employment law, if someone terminates your employment contract before you start working, all right, can you sue them?
Yes.
Can you sue them? You get that question. Then you be like, shit. Then you go to the textbook. Textbook got no such principle.
Yeah.
You have to go to the cases. But I don't know how to search on the cases because before this BAC will give me everything.
But is the
so you don't know how to find answers. So it's bad for you.
What's the answer?
The answer is yes, you can sue.
So you have normally there's two avenues when it comes to employment law. Either you sue someone for terminating you, so you'll go to the industrial courts, the employment courts, or you can go to the civil courts because it's a contract. So because you have not started your employment, you cannot go to the industrial court, even though you have an employment contract.
I see.
You actually have to start your work before you can go to industrial court. So immediately you close industrial court, you must go sue them for breach of contract. But even that also is complicated because principle of civil procedure or contract is you must prove the damages. you must be able to kind of quantify how much is owed to you, and is that damages too far removed or not? Like,
What
is
do
it
you mean by too
reasonable?
far removed?
Like, for example, let's say I follow the same scenario, right? Let's say it's Andrew. Okay, Andrew gets a job offer. Then he says, fuck all of you, fuck Yamcha sessions, fuck my job. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna start this new job. Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm studying in March. Okay. Then February, he suddenly he gets a call, says, "Oh, sorry lah, bro, no job." Right? So now he's burned all his bridges. He got no place to start, no place to work.
Okay.
Then to make things worse, he's gonna look for a job. Bloody hell, MCO came in lah. Now because of MCO, no business hiring at all. So he sues them for breach of contract. He says, I want my past salary, and I also want you, and I want it for this period of time because of MCO, I didn't get any income.
Wow.
But what they will respond is, that is too remote. I could not have foreseen that MCO will hit.
Yeah. So
How
that's
I
the
know?
argument lah.
So that's the argument. The damages cannot be too far removed. It has to be reasonable lah.
I see.
You know, yeah.
I mean,
Or for example, let's say you get hit in a car accident, and then
relatable.
you get hit in a car accident. The ambulance driver makes the situation worse. Cuts off your leg when you're not supposed to cut off your leg. Can you sue the person who hit you for your leg being cut?
Why not?
You can't, because you
America
never.
Oh, you never
respon-
see that shit happen
You are
to you.
responsible for what happened to you. You can't be Well, it's debatable lah. But how would I know that a freaking ambulance driver
Will cut my fucking leg.
your leg off? How can I be responsible for that? So, I'm sorry, I'm really passionate now. I feel like I'm submitting before a court.
Yeah. You sound like you're actually doing a case and everything, So what,
It makes sense lah,
feel it quite nice. But then how, you feel really passionate about lawyer. It must be the training
lah.
you get from your amma,
Yeah, no,
fighting.
it's an Indian thing
It's
more
an
than a
Indian thing.
lawyer
It's an
thing.
Indian thing more than lawyer, But then how
I
suddenly,
wish I had that passion.
suddenly from lawyering, how do you go into podcasting?
Did we cover the third question?
Got your back, bro.
What's the third question?
The third question is, oh my goodness.
Where do you study? His answer question. His answer
I went to
question.
BAC.
Nice.
Fucking funny, he's a Taylor's grad.
No, I'm a BAC grad. I'm a BAC grad.
Oh, you're basic,
Have
right?
any affiliation to BAC?
No, I'm a BAC grad. I did A levels BAC, degree BAC. I went to
Oh, one
Cardiff.
shot. Oh, you went to
I went to
Cardiff.
Cardiff. I came back. I did CLP in BAC also.
Oh.
So like you all know, because you all had a lawyer.
Yeah, Sonia,
before this.
Sonia.
Yeah. So CLP is
The bar lah, basically here.
yeah, there's the exam to get you called to the bar in Malaysia.
Oh, I see. The one prior.
Yeah.
So Amma did you good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Indian families. With Indian families, you kind of have to, like you're rewarded for being vocal.
Yup.
So like when we are young, your aunties uncle always say, see the fella, look how he talks. See how he talks like that. So the more you talk, the more you're like given attention. So you learn how to be talkative. I'm actually the quiet one in my family.
Huh?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm also not, I am
Really
not the quiet one in my family.
I'm quiet, really quiet.
I think you are the noisiest lah.
Yeah, I always get shut up.
Yes.
But I also lah. I also
Still talk
kena
a
lah.
lot. Yeah.
My mom would tell me to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Cannot, just how we are. You need to talk, bro. You know, that
don't
day
know.
last week my grandmother passed away. I go to the funeral. How you?
Condolences, bro.
I know, later I'll go prayers. I probably have to leave early.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Hey, no issue, bro. So I went to the house. I was just laughing in the funeral house. Dead body there. Sorry. She was there, not dead body. I was laughing, I was talking, and then my uncle said, can you just shut the fuck up? Then I went back home.
Fuck, I didn't know your grandma passed away.
Yeah, grandma passed away.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay, it's fine. Bro, but you know I know we start striking, but when I went there, she was still lying down, bro.
What do you mean?
Like she fainted. I mean, I've never really actually seen someone die in front of me.
Oh.
You mean she passed away in front of you?
In front of me, she was right there.
You saw her breathe her last breath.
No, I saw her. I came in maybe a few seconds late, but then she was lying down on the ground already.
Oh, she passed out.
She
when was
passed,
sitting
yeah,
down,
and
standing
then
up, that thing, oh.
usually when you go, like okay, everybody they take the body up and got casket and everything, they did right. You won't make it on time to actually see the body there. When I went there, she was still chilling down there. They don't know what to do. Then the people had to come and remove the body and everything. That was quite freaky, man.
Oh, but she passed away already.
But she passed away already. Mad, bro. Mad.
You mean you saw her before they like
take everything?
took care
I
of
was
it.
like, shit.
I saw my grandfather pass away.
In front of you?
His last few breaths.
What he
Which was
said?
quite crazy lah, actually.
What he said?
He didn't say anything. He was actually like,
You imagine you set your heart ablaze.
I won't believe. Because my grandfather was senile at the time already. But it's weird because the body is alive but the brain isn't. Yeah. So he was still breathing, but then you could see like you were there also, remember? So his last few breaths there, then I'm like, wow, fuck man, actually the human will to live is quite incredible. Because your body still wants to like survive, right? It's like instinctual thing, but your brain is already gone.
I mean,
It's quite crazy.
This went so dark, so let's go back to the...
Can I tell you one story though? Because that just reminded me of my grandmother.
Grandmother dying today.
I only knew my grandmother. I didn't know any of my grandparents. My grandmother passed away when I was 15. And I remember she was in the hospital for like a month or so before she passed away. And there was one time I went in with my dad and my aunt was reading the Bible to her. So they were like, then she had to go out. So then my dad was like, Roshan, read the Bible.
She came back to life.
No. Okay. So
Fucking hell, Poighai.
she was alive lah.
Oh, she was alive. Okay.
Fuck is this?
I had to ask. John. If you watch my podcast, I've done boasting.
Let me tell you, this episode we should get Nirvana to sponsor.
Serious?
I think.
Serious? Okay. Wait. Continue with the Bible. Continue.
Screen to Nirvana now.
Change the screen Nirvana right now.
No. Rengoku is dead also, man. Okay. Anyways, back to the Bible.
You read the Bible?
Yeah, so I took the Bible and I didn't open it properly. So my aunt was actually reading like a book of Psalms, which is like a book of songs,
Okay.
So it's very beautiful and advisory, and I opened the book of Job, Book of Job is actually about a man who his family was killed, and he keeps on asking God, "Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me?" It's supposed to be a reflection on death, and why bad things happen to good people.
So you read that?
I read that. I was like, "Why, Lord? Why have you forsaken me?"
Woman, they're dying and you're telling this.
reading. I'm like, something not right. Then my aunts and uncles all came in. Then everyone just listening to me read this, and they're like, "Why did you choose this to read?"
Bro, there's so much testament in the Bible, and you had to open that one thing that leads to death.
Oh my god. God damn, bro.
Champion.
How long did you realize? Then you stop.
I don't know. I was so young. I can't really remember. But I think it was like maybe, I don't know. I think I took a reasonable amount of time that made sense. And then I just closed it and like,
Yes. I've done my job. Nice. Hey. You made an impact, man.
But stories like that is so painful at that time, because when you're like 16, you're like, oh my god, last year I can't believe I just did that. 17, oh, you can't believe 2 years ago. But then when you're older, you're like, quite funny.
Yeah. I mean, I think at the time I was so young, so I was more embarrassed than anything else. Like my grandmother at that time didn't, I mean, even if she heard it was deep in the subconscious, I don't think she'll be able to really understand what was going on. I think you at that moment in your life when you're like in a coma, maybe you can get the feeling. I don't think you can really like...
I don't know, man. I saw this video of this guy. They were interviewing him and he was like in a coma for like 15 years or some shit like that. 15, 20 years. I don't, long time lah. And then he, right, when you're in a coma, you don't expect the guy to hear like all you say. Then he was saying, right, this whole time I was in a coma, right, I could hear everything.
Fuck. Every single thing.
Then he's not coma, he's
fucking thing. And you know what's the worst part? The worst part is...
His wife said something.
No, actually there are two worst things. One is the hospital, right, play Barney the dinosaur every fucking day. Same channel. So all he heard was Barney the dinosaur the whole day.
Attention really.
For like 15, 20 years, you only hear Barney the dinosaur. And now every time he sees it, he fucking hates Barney the dinosaur.
Shit.
Yeah, and when he woke up, the second thing is he heard his mom praying, said, please just take my son away. I don't want him to live already.
Ugh.
Yeah. So now he can never have a proper relationship with his mom.
No, but the mom just said
But that's
because to
fair
end,
lah. Yeah.
end his misery, right?
Yeah, I know, but like,
Who knows?
To me, the Barney one is quite fucked up lah. But the
Barney
mother,
is
I'm like, I mean, my mom also wish I was dead so many times. Right?
I was just reading the other day that actually there were a lot of people in like the mid 17th, 18th century. The doctors didn't know how to properly diagnose when a person died.
Just kill them.
No, so they would wake up in the coffin. That's why there's that urban myth of like scratches on
the cockroach.
It was a
the
legit
coffin,
thing. They would open coffins and there would be scratches because they didn't. The fellow pingsan almost died, but didn't really die.
Okay.
Later, the fellow bangun back.
Oh,
then suddenly, shit, what's this?
They bury me. In the
That's why got vampires. They are just falsely accused lah. Falsely
I am
accused.
legit fucking terrified of that shit. I'm legit fucking terrified of that shit because I remember I saw a movie like that with my dad last time.
Coffin.
Yeah, this guy was. I think the movie is literally called Buried Alive.
Ryan Reynolds.
Is it Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
Buried Alive?
Yeah, it's called Buried.
Oh, it's called Buried.
It's called Buried.
Yeah, then he was like scratching. Then you see his fingernails all tearing off. I'm like, oh my god, why am I watching this shit?
That's why some people prefer cremation.
100%.
Bro, just burn me, bro.
Yeah, it's burn.
Burn me and set
me
my
ablaze.
body ablaze. Okay, back to the thing. How
need
did you
to
start the
circle
podcast?
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed listening to conversations since I was young. I was never really into like what is this?
Joe Rogan and all that.
No, Wong Fu. I was never into YouTube like that.
Fei Hong.
Wong
Wong Fu
Fu
Productions.
Productions,
Oh, okay,
all those.
okay.
I was never really, I was never really into that kind of content. I was always more into like, I remember on Star Wars, I would watch David Letterman, Jay Leno. I just really always like listening
Like
to people talk.
charismatic interview.
I would watch Inside the Actors Studio, which no one really watches. And then all these late night guys like Conan. My favorite is Craig Ferguson.
Oh, Craig Ferguson.
Craig Ferguson, damn good.
What's that British guy's name again? That one who does.
Jimmy Fallon.
No, he was in Eurovision also.
Oh, Will Ferrell.
No, Will Ferrell was there also, but he's the commentator in Eurovision.
I don't know, man.
He interviewed a lot of.
Andy James.
No, he's a British guy.
I'm just calling the
He's a
football
late night guy.
commentators.
He's a late night.
The only British guy
David
is James
Letterman.
Corden.
No, bro.
I don't know.
What other British guys? Oh, Graham Norton.
Graham Norton. Yeah,
Graham Norton is very good.
Graham Norton is really good. He's really good. Yeah.
Breakfast Club, Joe Rogan, a lot lah. So I just continue to progress. So from that it became listening to podcasts, and I guess if you do something long enough, you also like want to do it lah. Then for many years actually I wanted to do it. Then I always kept on telling myself like, I'm not ready. Then suddenly I'm like 28 years old, MCO has hit, and I realized like shit, what if I die and like I've never really accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. So I told myself like, stop giving excuses lah, just do it lah. Even if it sucks, just do it lah. So I just did it lah.
But like from what I see in your podcast setup, right, there's a lot of like musical instruments and all that,
Yeah.
So like Jon and I were theorizing this shit. We were like, this fucker music background, is it? Or somebody music background? Takkan all the equipment so nice. He can listen so short.
That's
all
your
that.
dad's.
Oh, your dad.
My dad and my brother play, but my brother is abroad lah. Now he's in Sabah.
Oh, okay.
So my dad plays lah. So the equipment was all there.
The microphones.
Everything was there. Interface was there because they sometimes just for fun do
They jam
recordings. Yeah, simple stuff lah. So yeah,
So the audio part, like as in back end, it's kind of like more or less figured out already lah.
I had the equipment, but for me, I was very particular because I wanted it to sound a particular way. I wanted people to listen to it and not know that it was like recorded at home. I wanted it to sound at least a little bit studio-ish. A little bit lah.
I gotta give credit where credit due. It's fucking amazing though.
Yeah, so I was quite particular about that lah. And that was one of the reasons why I actually didn't want to start. But then when I figured out, okay, this is some of the ways I can go around it, then I did it lah.
I think your podcast audio, right, is like top of the top, bro. It feels so like bassy, so deep, and then it really feels like I'm in the fucking room sometimes, Especially like when it's noisy. Like the two things I feel that is very difficult for a podcast to overcome is when I'm working out and when I'm in the car. Because Shock was telling me how like the sound, right, needs to be really, really high up there. Because when you drive in the car, right, you can't really hear already,
Yeah.
So it needs to be like punchy in a way. Then second is like when you're working out, when I'm running or whatever, so you hear yourself breathing and all that.
Yeah.
So when you hear the podcast, that's why Joe Rogan's is so good. And
Yeah.
Tim Ferriss also like actually.
That's why sometimes I switch between listening to my podcast because I test it before I release it.
Oh, I see.
I try either I'll put it speaker from my phone or I do earphones, but I alternate like different episodes just to make sure that however you are listening to it, it sounds okay lah. So that was important to me lah.
I feel like we didn't really give a fuck about audio, right?
At
Which was
first.
which is like totally stupid. as
I
shit.
mean the fact that you all did it in a cafe.
Bro, the one at Cafe is one of the worst lah. Not Chaplang, the Cafe I think was so
Coffee.
was so
Coffee
bad,
some
bro.
more.
I almost cried watching
No,
it
because
again.
the initial concept, like if you know, is we were
Yeah,
supposed
yeah,
to do it in the
Cafe
cafe.
and then
So
get
when I
the-
first became like a fan of your podcast, then I like stalked you all from the beginning. First, I noticed that on Spotify, it's not the full
Yeah,
set.
it's not.
So I stalked you on YouTube. I went back and I was like, wow, these guys like it's like a complete different.
Yeah.
It's like you all started the podcast 10 years ago.
It kind of felt that way lah. Let's put it there lah. Okay, let's put it there lah.
It's quite hardcore, you know.
Quite bad, man.
Especially in like that echo room.
Yeah.
But the
Oh,
echo
the
room
one-
was better lah, I feel. It was better because at least you can somewhat hear. But the cafe one is like, what the fuck are you all thinking? But
we
I
were
mean-
not thinking lah.
No, but that's the thing. Because I started doing YouTube quite some time ago already, like 5-6 years ago. And for me, right, it's always like, why am I giving myself the excuse?
Yeah.
When you can give out shit quality. Who says it needs to be professional grade?
Yeah, and you guys are a good example. If you all have given yourself this reason excuse, say like, we don't have the proper equipment to make it sound good, and you all hadn't at least taken the first step, you all might not be here today.
Yeah, man.
It's a
It's true.
progression. It's just growth.
But people don't see that. People see like you need to immediately have everything.
Yeah.
You need to buy all the equipment to start, which is damn hard, bro, because it's such huge capital.
Not only that, when you first start releasing episodes, which I know a lot of podcasters now, and you're getting like 30, 40 listens only, 30, 40
Yeah.
downloads,
Then
it can be very discouraging.
Doesn't
It can be
matter.
very
We
discouraging.
give no fuck. Yeah, that's why we always praise Joanna Choi, you know.
Yeah, Joanna Choi was like
5K
episode
plus?
16 or some shit like that.
She made it all really blow up.
Yeah, with like 3K views for shitty audio. I'm like, wow.
Oh, because Joanna Choi, bro. Until today, man,
Yeah.
Joanna Choi.
But then I think you can see as a testament of our perseverance. Because when you see like, wow, from shit, right? And then you look at it, right? It's like the studio first lighting quite shit. Then you see Chalk brings in all this super equipment, right?
Yeah.
Then you're like, wow, really can see difference.
Evolve, bro.
You know
Evolve,
what I
bro.
mean? Yeah.
Evolution.
And I think that's part of your appeal as well, because people are riding with you, then they see you guys growing, and then they are part of that journey with you as well. They're like, they're part of you. They feel part of the community.
Welcome to the journey.
Patreon, pay patronage.
Yeah. Welcome to the journey.
If you want to see them grow more, pay more.
Yeah. Because like you know in the beginning my girlfriend Jen, right, she was watching PewDiePie, right, when he had like 400k subscribers, you know. Now you look at him, number one in the world.
Yeah, bro. Fucker.
Didn't he hit like some insane amount of subscribers?
100k. Then he got
was
the
100 mil.
It's 100 million.
He was fighting with T-Mobile, but
Huh?
y'all don't know what happened.
No.
So he was number one. This happened like a year or 2 years ago. He was number one on YouTube for a long time. Then what happened was in India, T-Mobile started selling phones. You automatically have a YouTube account given to you, something like that. So T-Mobile, suddenly the number of subscribers they had on YouTube on YouTube just went up like insane.
Why? People subscribe to you.
When you
It's
buy
like
the
something
phone-
like automatically with the phone you get a subscription to YouTube or something like
and
that.
they
lah.
auto subscribe to T-Mobile.
Something like that lah.
Smart.
So T-Mobile's numbers. So then PewDiePie was like, guys, it's time to go to war lah. So he legit went to war with T-Mobile. All his fans, people were buying billboards for PewDiePie. It was insane. It was a whole thing. Podcasters came out, YouTubers came out, all getting people to subscribe. Logan Paul shouted out PewDiePie. It's like, mad lah. And because of that, he hit the mark. He was fighting, but eventually T-Mobile won lah. But he fought a good battle lah.
What the
He still lost.
fuck?
But he still lost.
Because India, bro.
He won the war. But it was India, bro.
You can fight lah, but
we got people.
India will come for you, bro.
We got bodies to throw at you.
What the fuck? I didn't know this.
Yeah, it was a big thing. Yeah.
But he hit 100 mil, which is damn impressive already lah.
Yeah, true. So, but if talking to all of our equipment, right? What about your equipments in your house?
It was mostly that like my dad.
Your dad's and everything. So you
I
just
think
utilize what's given to you, lah.
I bought we bought the mic stands. We bought 1-2 mic cables because there were more people coming in.
But yours XLR mic lah.
We memang had XLR mic.
So you have to buy XLR cable lor. It's quite expensive.
yeah.
man.
Okay, like just
But
small,
you can get affordable
small
XLR
detail, small minor section. Then you just
buying the account to upload on, because we
Stupid
were
RSS bullshit.
so we had to pay a subscription. I decided to pay a subscription.
We are paying for it.
understand.
That's
So,
why in the rate.
I mean,
I know.
throughout all of this,
I
this
know.
journey, right? Who were the one who started out in the beginning to help you in this podcast? Who were the OGs?
The OG. So have to shout out my one of my best friends, Jeremy Lim.
He also banana.
Banana. And the funny thing is, he's super smart. Like he's like a brilliant guy. So it was
5.0 CGPA.
5.0. Wow, 5/4.
like I know it's funny, because when we I met him in high school. So we were in 1C. Okay, third class together.
Okay.
Yeah, I was listening
sounds
to
about right. Third class lah.
Yeah.
After
Yeah. Okay, continue.
But the only reason he was on 1C was because he did badly in Chinese in primary school. But actually, he's straight A's other than that. So this fellow, both of us became close. Then from 1C, he went to 2A.
Oh.
2A, right? Then he messed around. Then he came back to 3B. And I was in 3B. So he went through all the
1, 2, 3. Yeah. ABC.
Yeah, but he was a super smart guy. So even for PMR, he got straight A's,
And then-
but he failed his Mandarin.
Nice.
So from 4.
So from 4, he's in second class.
Why did he even take Mandarin then? The mother lah.
Also the pressure lah, because the school had a Mandarin speaking kind of community. There was a strong
Taman Yali.
Mandarin speaking teacher.
Oh, wow.
She's very like,
If you're
China
Chinese,
lah.
you must know
China
Chinese.
lah.
yeah lah, I'm nothing against that lah. To be honest, I wish there were more Indians like that, because like for me, I don't know Tamil at all, and I wish there was more push for Tamil speaking in government schools. I feel it's like a big waste lah.
I think it's
You know,
it's
there
a
is
double-edged sword, my
actually,
friend.
it's just better or not you all want to join the Tamil class or not.
Yeah.
But no one gives a fuck about it.
No, but honestly, even me as an adult, like when I was 18, about a year ago, because of MCO, I thought, okay, maybe funny time for me to learn Tamil. I went online. First thing is no centers anywhere. Mandarin, I'm telling you, there's so freaking many Mandarin centers for adult speakers. Tamil, 0. So I went online, looked for personal tutor. So I went on the tuition websites. I said interested. You know how many WhatsApp calls I got from India?
India.
These are the teachers. India, they are the ones teaching Tamil to Malaysians.
Not only they outsourced telco, they also outsourced tuition teachers. Nice.
Dude, I was getting so many WhatsApps from Sri Lankans.
Like, hello,
Indians.
Roy. Do you want to learn the Indian language? You're like, my name is not Roy. My name is Roshan.
What the fuck?
Cool.
So it's quite I think a bit tragic lah.
I mean, I was just that you just watched more Tamil movie, man. Like last time, I can't really speak a lot of Tamil. Now I can speak a little bit.
I'm
just watching
I'm quite
Tamil.
stupid lah. I don't know.
Bro,
why I
like that
can.
dumb also. You just sit down and watch. Eventually, you just get the hang of it.
You know what I found out about Tamil?
What?
Tamil is the oldest
Language in the world?
Yeah,
That's what I heard as well.
oldest spoken language in the world. And I googled it. It's legit. It's real. Because
Is it?
Sanskrit is the oldest language, but Sanskrit is dead language.
It's a deviation from Sanskrit, right?
Yeah. So if you talk about a live language now that is still spoken, Tamil is the oldest in the world.
Damn.
You want to know how old Tamil is? You know, I was watching a YouTube video the other day. This Korean girl, she spoke to 2 Indians in Korea, right? And then she said, I heard that there's many words in Tamil that is similar to Korea. And so this Indian couple would say Tamil words, and the Korean girl can guess the words in Korean.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because apparently like 500, 600
It's
years...
the OG language that kind of like spread out because the meaning of the word, like nanas is pineapple, but then ananas.
Yeah, and like for example, Korean Amma, Tamil Amma. It's the same damn word. They have same words for grasshopper, for certain types of food. It's insane. I was so shocked.
So
when I watched
kimchi
the
is what in Tamil?
I don't know.
Wait, Amma, okay.
No, you watch that video, dude. Legit, I was so shocked because they're just saying the words, no context. They just say the word in Tamil, then she can pick up the Korean word, and she was so damn surprised.
So,
What the fuck,
if
man?
anything, right, you guys can't get rid of us.
No, but apparently, like they, many like hundreds of years back, they exchange. You know how they princess go and marry.
Yes.
So because of that, something like that, like how they did here.
But like
So,
Puteri Hang Lipo, you know,
Something
for us.
like that, yeah.
Okay.
So motherfuckers are part Korean, right? Yo.
You know like Spider-Man, black Spider-Man, I like a white Spider-Man. Wow, the whiteness!
Holy fuck,
I was like,
man.
shit, man, I should be working at Running Man. I should be one of the...
But did you pick up Tamil yet?
No, I still don't know anything.
Nada, macha.
I did my best, guys. Okay, I got calls from people in India.
Okay, we give it to him now.
I gotta admit, I think Andrew gave a lot of fucking effort for Mandarin. He still go for class for that, you know.
Yeah.
Not recently lah.
Huh? Why?
Because MCO, I can only do it when it's face to face.
Oh, is
Yes.
Because you have to read the lips, you have to see you feel the social context.
I see.
A lot of different things.
Dude, fuck Mandarin they.
So anyway, my friend Jeremy, my friend Jeremy is a banana, and so but he's a very smart guy. He goes on, he's a Jeffrey Chia scholar. He just got accepted to Cambridge.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's a damn smart guy. So we started a podcast together. He's also a bit psycho. He's like a socialist. He believes in the revolution, destroying the hierarchy and all that shit.
Okay.
Wait, so what was the conversation that led between both of you to create the podcast?
We are both of us, our friendship is very chill. Like when we go out, one person buy, we don't even talk about it. We go out another time, the other person buy. It's like, we don't like, that's our friendship, So I was sitting with him, I was like, bro, you want to start, I thinking of starting a podcast, you want to come on? Okay lah, bro. That's
That's
the
it
start,
lah.
lah. That's how it started lah. Simple like as that.
I
Easy,
remember the
not bad,
conversation with Anissa, you were saying how you damn agreeable. She also damn agreeable. Maybe like that lah. That's why I was like, wow, maybe everybody very agreeable.
Yeah.
But I think our generation is quite agreeable.
No man, I met assholes. I've met assholes.
Maybe we just
Maybe
never
because it's
met
legal lah. Illegal, you meet assholes lah. Legit.
I feel like a lot of people I have conversations with, maybe I'm just very fortunate. Like we're all somewhat quite agreeable. Then you kind of reach a
Talking about
consensus.
podcasters or?
No, just people in general.
General.
No,
Like
no, maybe
80-20 20 quite asshole lah.
I don't know. I've seen assholes and I immediately just remove
But the
myself from
20%
them.
are older one. So to me it's like that lah.
No lah, I've met young assholes lah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Cool.
I got a lot of horror stories about
Horror?
lawyers.
God damn it.
Yeah, I mean even my own. Okay, I'll be careful
Actually
how
goes,
I say this.
actually
I know
goes.
lawyers my age will shout at their subordinates, scold them,
Wow.
them.
Oh, that's just assholes in work lah. Okay, let's put it there lah.
But I feel like that's the true personality because I think the way you treat your subordinates is a true reflection of who you are.
100%.
I think you know who you. If you treat a waiter, that's how you treat everybody else.
Bro,
True.
I always say good afternoon to security guards if I see them. Alright?
I don't even say go after.
I don't do that.
Just
I do the wave. I do the wave.
Thank you, but I just give that.
I smile also,
I see the people. Sometimes I see some of those people talking to the waiter so rude. I'm like, fuck them, you know.
Can I tell you another funny story?
What's so funny? People thought you were the waiter before because that happened to me before.
I was listening to your podcast.
Okay.
Right? I think it was the one with. I can't remember who was the guest, but you all were talking about what if you dated a girl, but she had you broke up with a girl because of her voice.
No,
right?
it's not him. It's Lashwin.
Was it Lashwin?
Yeah, it's 100% Lashwin. It's 100%. Bro, there's only one motherfucker in this world that I know. Okay? He was like, wow, John, I'm really hitting off with this girl. I'm like, hey, nice lah. He's like, you watch the same movies, all that, Okay? And we meet every Friday, right?
Yeah.
That's like, dude, happy for you, man. Then he's like, when's the date? Then I was like, oh, it's this weekend. Okay? Oh, okay. Hey, let me know how it goes, man. So he don't message me anything after the date. I'm like, quite curious lah. So never mind, just wait till Friday lah. Maybe he's busy with work, right? Friday come, I was like, hey, how's the date? Cannot lah, John. I'm like, why? And he's like, voice like mouse lah. What the fuck? You judge people based on their voice. I said, yeah, I didn't know it was something that
Yeah, so you all were talking about this. Then you took it one step further. So imagine if your girlfriend laughed like a particular way. Okay, so
That's fucked up.
Okay, I listen to my podcast when I'm driving to work and when I'm going back home. So that time I was going to work. Going work now you must scan, right?
Yeah.
So you put down your window, the guy will hold the QR code, scan. Exactly when the window went down and scanning, you did the.
Then the guy was like, okay. No.
The guy looked at me, smiled at me. Because mine is like, I've just played on speaker, not on earphones. He looked at me, smiled at me, I smiled at him. And you all continued, you didn't stop at the one laugh. You did different variations of it.
I tend to be that way. I want to go past the barrier, bro. I go beyond it, bro.
You gotta go beyond, burn beyond, bro. Rengoku.
It's because of your training with your brother, always trying to make him laugh.
100%. I shaved one leg for him before also.
It's like, the best kind of comedic training you would have is trying to make someone who doesn't laugh.
Oh, yeah.
It's like an anime kind of like plot like that.
Yeah, I think we are doing a fairly good job. Drew always laugh in our podcast, so it's fine.
Not because of me lah. I think situational.
Yeah, as long as it's laughing.
I think in my life, right, it's so rare I laugh until my stomach pain.
Fuck you lah. That was his. No, because he said
hostile, bro.
Fuck you lah. I've seen him laughing on the floor.
Yeah, but it's rare now.
Oh, okay. Then I take back the you fuck. Okay, I take it back.
But it's with Andrew Poighai in a select few where I laugh until my stomach is damn painful lah. It's like rare lah. I don't even have that anymore already. That one has to be like such a so deep, like you must know, right? All the little nuances, how the air felt that way, right? And then you say the joke, execute it correctly at that point, right? Where you're not supposed to laugh, right? And then you hold it in, and then the stomach hurts. Oh, that one damn rare lah. Like a funeral type of thing, and then you remember like, hey, last time right, she did her nose, then her nose got then you like. You just shoot him a look, then that's it lah. Then
your mind works in a beautiful way lah. I don't know how you go to all these different places.
I also don't know lah. There was one, right, that meme where the guy is like sleeping, and then the girl is like sleeping. She's like, ayo.
I wonder he's thinking about it.
Thinking about that day, right? I was in bed, so I go to bed quite early, 10, 11. I down in bed. I just look at the ceiling. Jen was looking at iPad. Then she was like, what are you thinking about? I'm like, no, nothing. She says, why? You looking at the ceiling for so long? Then I like, think about McDonald's. She's like, why? What the fuck? How did you get here? Then I'm like, no, I was thinking about Israel. Then how like a lot of Jews actually own these companies. Should I buy McDonald's? Then I'm like, oh, actually triple cheeseburger sounds damn good. But I wish they had more pickles. All that happened in like 30 seconds,
Yeah.
But I was like, you want to go further? Or is it this the limit of like within the last 30 seconds what I was talking about? Then she's like, no man, no.
No.
So I don't know. I tend to go. I ask Andrew the randomest questions also.
Do you think he's funnier now or is it the same as when he was younger?
I think it's the same.
Same.
Yeah, his humor is constant. I think as you age, things become less and less funny.
Right. So you think he's matured lah, basically?
I think he's the same. I think he has never changed.
Surroundings.
It's just age catches up, right? And then it's like things just are too familiar. Like last time you used to laugh about everything.
Yeah. Now you have the weight of the podcast on your shoulders.
There was
You have a girlfriend. You have a girlfriend to pay for.
There was one time in Toronto. I remember it was
Yes,
fucking.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, bro.
Yeah. You know how Slim Shady is like something get down is one
Get
of his
down! I know. That's
One
the
of-
song.
one of his lyrics.
As like that. Get down! Yes. There's also
He
the
said
song.
something
I think
He said something like that, and I thought it was hilarious when he said it. And he said, "Arnold, get down." And then you know how Arnold in movies,
Get in the
he
chopper.
always says, "Get down, get to the chopper, get down." Then after that, right, we were reading this DVD. It was an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. And he was like, when Arnold is down. I don't know why, right? That triggered, right? Like, I think we're laughing for a good 15 minutes, you know. I don't know why. I still remember that moment.
Yeah. No, I think it's because your brothers also.
Yeah.
It's something about, because I have similar moments with my brother as well, where like I remember there was one time we were in church and there was a session lah. Then the speaker was giving his like session lah. But it was so bad. We didn't know, like nobody knew what he was talking about. But you know, because we all were still young. But me and my brother, we looked at each other, then we just we just exchanged a non-verbal like, this guy is shit, right? Then we went out, we sat at the couch, we both just started laughing at how stupid the session was, right? And people came in, they didn't understand why we were laughing. But we both like didn't have to say much.
You know.
Unfortunately, right, sometimes, right, my mom or dad says something so fucking stupid, right, I immediately just look at Andrew, right? And then they're like, "John, can you stop looking at Andrew?" Because, right, they're so upset, right? You know how when you watch like those TV shows, like The Office, and then there's this like camera zoom.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, Drew, Thunder Mifflin Paper Company, Drew.
Bro, when did you buy the shirt though?
I got it as a gift. Just last April, my best friend gave it to me.
Yo, fuck, man.
Damn.
Fucking
Bro,
Yeah. It's my favorite show.
it's fucking
Yeah,
good.
same. It's my favorite show though.
It's fucking good. He has watched it like 3 times.
Then definitely you have a good sense of humor. 100% got a good sense of humor. I used to watch it like 4 or 5 times.
It's fucking good. So right, when I look, you know when they look at Jim and then there's like camera whoop in the zoom in his face, he's like, you know when Steve says something stupid.
Yeah. He gives the eye like the
oh fuck, you know.
like the kind of
No, he like break the fourth wall.
yeah.
So when I look at Andrew like that, right, wow, my mom gets so fucking, just leave it, bro. She's like, what the fuck? Can you stop looking at Andrew? Lah?
Because she knows that you're having your own non-verbal
You're having the-
communication. Yeah.
It's basically like, did you just hear what she said? Or did you just hear what my dad said? Then I just look at Andrew like, then Andrew like, don't look at me.
So what question are we on?
What's the biggest challenge of your podcast?
I'm so happy I'm destroying this.
The question is, what's the biggest challenge of the podcast and why is it organizing people's time?
Why is it organizing people's time? What is that?
No, the question is, what is the biggest challenge of the podcast and why is it organizing people's time? Basically, I answered the question for you already.
Oh, did I say that though? Did I say
No,
that?
He answered
It's,
his own
it's,
question.
Oh,
it's,
you're
it's,
saying
an
that-
assumption. It's an assumption. But what's the biggest challenge for you all? Organizing people's time?
No, actually not really. I'm quite
Doing it.
because for me, I have my own system where if a person cancels, I know the annoying part is cancel when people cancel last minute, but I have a system where I have a backup. So if a person cancels, I just call Jeremy. So that's my if Jeremy is not free, I'll call his brother Samuel.
Oh, that's their brother.
They're brothers. Samuel is a damn interesting guy, damn funny,
Oh,
damn
Samuel
funny.
is Jeremy's brother. What the fuck?
That's the
Bro,
same
Samuel
response
is
as
so
how he
funny.
felt when
Yeah.
you and Drew are brothers.
Samuel is crazy. He's so smart, but he's psycho. He's completely mad. He's a
Sounds about the same as Jeremy. What
no,
you
different.
no.
Samuel is a serial liar. He just can't stop lying. He makes up stories, but he believes his stories.
I like the fact that you said serial liar.
No, I called him out on the podcast. Samuel, is that true? Is that true or not? Tell the truth. Then he'll have a friend with him. Like he once told me that we were on the podcast and he said, "Oh, I went to the movies to watch. I can't remember. Was it Tenet or whatever?"
He's a movie buff one. He's damn good.
Yeah.
He's like, he knows all this shit about movies.
Yeah, he writes movie reviews and all that. And he was saying, "Oh, there was this Malay guy who just kept on. I don't know whether it was Tenet. It might have been something else." And the guy just kept on laughing in the cinema, laughing. I said, "Is that true, Samuel?" Then his friend who was with him in the cinema said, "There was a Malay guy, there was no laughing." Like he just lies for no reason, right?
No, he wants to the story, bro.
Yeah,
He wants
yeah.
to the story. I know, I understand.
And
I
his
understand.
mind is like, it's just crazy. I'll tell you the story about how I knew Samuel was crazy.
Wait, Samuel's the younger one or what?
Yeah, a younger one. Okay, first thing is when he was in high school, his parents got him tested.
He's not crazy.
Wow.
He's not crazy.
Okay.
Right? But because Samuel speaks in like a weird way, you know.
Yeah,
like he has an
yeah.
accent. There's no reason for him to have that accent. He's not gone to a different country. There's no reason for him to speak
He
in
just want it lah.
So the therapists or the researchers said that it's because the way he absorbs information, he just watches and he just and there's no filter and he just he's like just takes everything in and he just.
But it's American media lah. He's got a bit of an American accent, a little bit.
Yeah, but none of us do, and we all grew up with American media, so it's crazy lah. So anyway,
True.
When he was in college, he was doing I think a writing diploma. Was it mass comm?
It was a course or what?
So it was a course or something like that. So he was doing he's going to kill me if he hears this stuff. But
Doesn't matter.
he was doing an assignment, you know. It's like for his end of his semester.
Okay.
So his assignment was he was supposed to write a story. That's all. So I asked him, so what's your story about? He said, well, it's actually about Gordon Ramsay.
Nice.
Okay.
I like.
He said it's about a guy who's obsessed with Gordon Ramsay and just wants to be Gordon Ramsay. And he believes he is Gordon Ramsay.
Wow.
This guy. So then he was like, so the problem is his wife is struggling because now he's pretending to be Gordon Ramsay, right? So they go to a therapist. So the therapist tries to help him break out of this Gordon Ramsay mold. So they go meet Gordon Ramsay in the UK. In the UK, Gordon Ramsay tells him I'm just cutting the story short, but tells him that Gordon Ramsay is a way of life, not a person. So then the therapist helps this guy is pretending to be Gordon Ramsay and his wife, and they come up with a solution. He will be Gordon Ramsay, and the wife will pretend to be Gordon Ramsay's wife, and then they can continue their relationship. Bro, who comes up with these kind of stories, bro?
What? Wait.
Who comes up with this kind of story?
The therapist will the therapist will say that. You know? What kind of fucked up therapist is this?
This is Jeremy's story.
No, Samuel
Samuel
wrote this story and he gave it. He got a B or something like that.
B? Wow.
Dude, I was so into this story, I forgot it was a fake story from
Yes, I was so into the story. Yeah. I didn't realize it was fake as well.
Yeah, but anyway, so whenever I can't get anyone, I mean, if anyone cancels last minute, then I'll just, okay, Samuel, come on. Jeremy, come on. Like that lah.
Oh, but you all live nearby lah.
Yeah, about 10 minutes. I stay in Sungai Buloh, he stays in Bandar Sri Damansara, which is very close to One Utama, 5 minutes
Very
away
close to
from
Sami
One Utama.
Giza, so huh?
Oh,
I just have to put that shit there, man.
Yeah.
But Samuel's got really like interesting perspectives when it comes to movie critiques.
Yeah.
And he's
definitely.
very harsh also lah, I feel.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think he's a little bit snobbish
Yeah, quite
in a
snobbish.
way because he's watched so many things and he's watched like high caliber things. So when something is
Expectations
not,
are there lah.
yeah, I mean it's normal lah. Like when y'all watch anime, when someone says,
you better watch out what you're gonna
Sailor
say.
Moon is the best anime of all time.
Yes. Of course. Excuse me, winners.
Okay, if someone says Hero, what?
My Hero
Boku no
Academia.
Hero.
My Hero Academia is 10 times better than Naruto.
Whoa. He wants to die.
But that person has only watched my.
Wow, that one I lucky them.
He's never watched Naruto. So for him, of course, that's the best lah. You know, but you all have watched something better, so you all can evaluate and say, dude, you're a joke.
Yeah.
You know,
Also Samuel can because he's seen so many.
he's seen so many. You know,
Wait, what is his take of Lord of the Ring?
he likes it. He likes Lord of the Rings.
Bro. I quite like Lord of the
I think Lord of the Rings is universally acclaimed as a great movie. I don't think there's any.
I think it's very okay. That's alright. I didn't even watch it more than once.
Bro, I watched more than once.
Dude, people buy the uncut DVD.
Uncut, yeah, I know.
I know,
And they
I know,
watch
but
it.
I don't get it. Like, why? Why? I don't get it. It's
So good.
There's
bro.
no.
I mean, maybe the grandness of the whole
Who's
thing.
the main character?
Aragorn. Frodo. Whoever.
No,
Boromir.
there's three. There's three.
You're going to say Gollum. You're going to say Gollum, is it?
No, because Tolkien was actually super Catholic, J.R.R. Tolkien. So he
Aragorn and the dwarf and Legolas, is it?
no, so it's prophet, priest, and king. Prophet is
Gandalf.
Gandalf. Priest is Frodo because of the sacrifice.
Yeah.
King is Aragorn.
Aragorn.
So his book has the
oh.
he because he was so Christian. The book is not about Christianity, but he has the feel of Christianity.
The inspirations are. very
So
interesting,
like Tolkien actually has a very tragic story. His father died in Africa. Then his mom converted from becoming a Protestant to becoming Catholic.
Wow.
So when he and his brother went back to the UK, there was no one to take care of them because the mother's family rejected him.
Damn it.
So they were lived in poverty, and then she died of pneumonia when they were in their primary, like
like 10-ish.
Yeah, exactly. So then he was actually adopted by a priest, and so a priest raised
the
him.
upbringing is very Christian, like.
Yeah, raised him and the brother. In fact, he fell in love with his girlfriend when he was 18 in Oxford, and the priest told him, "You're on scholarship. You cannot see this girl until you've graduated." And he actually respected the priest and did that. He stopped seeing this girl, but the moment he graduated, he wrote her a letter and they got married.
Nice.
Wow, this guy
persisted.
fucking
Bro,
suave,
this
wait.
girl actually waited, bro.
So Gandalf is actually based on the priest that raised him.
And he's Aragorn, is it? He thinks he's Aragorn now.
I don't know who he thinks. No, actually, if you read Lord of the Rings, there's the master set, but then there's the Similarian, there's a whole world. So actually
The Hobbit and all that also is part of it, as the universe.
Yeah.
It's like prior, it's a prequel and stuff like that, right?
So there's actually a legend in Lord of the Rings. One of the mythologies is about these two lovers. I think his name is Baron and Luthien.
And it's based on Tolkien and the girl, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fucking interesting.
So if anybody, he would be that character, I suppose.
You know, all these fucking people, all these authors, right? They purposely go and put themselves inside, right? You know, Isayama, right? For Attack on Titan.
Ah.
Do you know who is he in
No,
AOT?
I have no idea.
He's Levi, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a tragic kind of. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's short. His hair is the same.
but personality also.
OP, bro, Levi.
Yeah.
No, but
lah.
personality?
No.
Not
But
personality.
He purposely made it look like it's him.
Because Levi personality was a bit like on the spectrum like that.
But
On
now
the
he
spectrum.
OP,
What do you
bro. He always rape Beast Titan.
No, he doesn't have normal human social skills. Right?
Yeah.
He's like a robot lah.
Just
like
he-
Mikasa lah, same.
Yeah, he's the best of the best. Oh wait, you read the manga right now?
I don't read the manga, but I know the ending lah.
Oh, you know the ending.
Bro, there's a new chapter they dropped though. Yeah.
What?
They dropped a new chapter. You didn't know?
What the fuck this Isayama doing?
They dropped a new chapter.
But what are they going to talk
No
about?
spoilers. Shippuden.
Really?
What? Attack on Titan Shippuden?
I mean, something like that.
Huh?
Like X number of years later kind of thing.
The story format doesn't work though for AOT.
Yeah, it's kind of like the war
Just go and
ended.
watch. Just go and watch.
It's like the war ended.
Don't ask me, bro.
Huh.
It is what it is.
Who else wanna die, man?
What you see is what you
There's nobody left.
No, like, basically there's a reason why lah, because they're Ackerman. Right?
Ackerman.
Come on. Alright.
Yeah, so that, I mean, I don't know whether that one people.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, next
what is
question.
it called? The Rumah Roy.
You know the funny thing is I don't think I'm answering any of your questions because we start with a question, I don't really answer it, and then we move to the
You
next.
answer. You said
you
it's
got,
hard.
you got.
answer
Yeah.
first, and then we go to where we go.
I've never really completely answered. I always start and I never finish answering the question.
Sometimes
No, you got.
You answer lah. You answer what we need to know. You know. You answer what we need to know. Let's prove. Let's prove that you answer a question. Okay. How do you get into podcasting? Is that something you wanted to do, and then
Yeah,
so you
because
thought you
you
were
listen all
gonna
your
die?
background, all that.
How do you get into equipment? It's already in your damn house.
Okay.
Who were the guys who helped?
aggro and shit.
Yeah.
He's fucking aggro.
Who were the guys who helped you out? Jeremy. What is the biggest challenge in getting back up?
It wasn't
Jeremy and Samuel.
But wait, hold on. It's not only Jeremy. It was also Jane came in and helped me with my sound.
Jane, thumbs up to you.
Jane Au, and then after that it was also Sharon.
Thank
who
you, Sharon.
Helped me with social media and videography. It was,
Okay.
it was 4 of us as a team lah.
Oh, alright.
So but then Jeremy had to stop because of his master's application and because he's involved in an NGO and also he has his own job. He has
Oh
to balance.
shit, he's involved in an NGO.
Very, very involved in an NGO. They do a lot of good work. And then Jane got a full-time job, so she also couldn't commit. So basically, these two people they help out, but they're not really in lah. They're not in the WhatsApp group anymore lah.
Oh, once you
know.
kicked out, you got kicked out lah. That's how you know. I remember me and Drew and John also had a very difficult time in WhatsApp as well. John, remember? You remember? We had to create another group as well.
We call it YCS 2.0.
It's a backstory lah. We'll talk about this maybe later lah. Okay.
No, so that's why I want to say, like, for y'all, whatever decision you all make on the podcast, whether you want to change the branding style, whether you want to decide to go in a different direction,
Stay together.
Stay together. That's the most important thing. Even if you feel the podcast is shit after that because of the decisions you made based on the brand.
I need to make a phone call.
Sure, go for it.
Some urgent stuff.
No worries, man.
Yes, I'll sit it.
Yeah, I will take over.
Hey, come in,
But
man.
I thought you you better be careful. Like,
Bro, I'm a master gymnast.
I like how everybody all laugh.
Urgent stuff. Bro, I can limbo fucking low, bro.
I can limbo fucking low.
That's his standard, you know. The standard for yoga, right, is I can limbo fucking low, bro. The yoga master asks you, what's your experience with yoga? I can limbo fucking low, bro.
I would love to hear MC say that at a wedding. Tano limbo fucking low, guys.
You can see the event and let me use fucking low.
What are we talking about?
No,
Hey,
so-
close the door.
What time are you going? Sorry, what time are you going to?
Fucking hell, this guy.
So whatever it is, just don't let the group break lah. Because for me, like now 2 of them have left. So and we are not on bad terms. We are all still very close. Like I said, Jeremy still comes on, Jane also we can reach out anytime. But it's not the same lah. It's not fun. I mean, it is fun because I'm meeting new people. Like I met you, John. So it's in that way it's fun. The conversations are fun. But there's a different, like when it's a team.
I know, man. It's more shock lah.
Like the meetings
energy.
after, even if they give feedback, hey, today not so good, Roshan. Or it's still you feel like there's a
Community.
Yeah,
There's a teamwork. There's a team.
We makan together, we just lepak after that. Now it's like, now especially for me, because Sharon also can't come over because she also stays quite far from me. So I haven't seen her in a few months. So like, it's just, I record, have the conversation, the guest goes, and then empty house, bro.
Oh, yo.
Yeah, no, I feel your face.
Yeah, so it's tough lah. I mean, I still enjoy it, but
It's different lah.
I remember the good times lah, Yeah.
I think it's progression in a different way. You never know because right? I was talking to AVA Japan about this, and he was saying how like, what's the use of us doing all this? We don't earn money. We waste time. What the fuck? Like what we do? Then I'm like, actually, I think you're seeing it in a very different light, lor. You look at it at numbers, right? You look at it at views. I think you're so used to it because when you see it on Instagram, you judge your performance based on numbers. Right?
You can hear from the way he speaks that for him, I think the thrill that like how he said he doesn't really like when people recognize him. I think his sense of accomplishment is seeing his content just go out there and grow.
Yeah.
But I think we maybe have a sense of accomplishment with the content itself that we put out. Even if nobody sees it, if I enjoyed the conversation, if you enjoyed the conversation, okay lah,
He is metric driven, I can tell.
Oh, fair enough.
But for me lah, actually it's beyond that, I think, right?
And there's no wrong.
Yeah, it's just different lah. It's just different lah. But for me, right, personally, when you meet someone, right, on YouTube, right, or via any other fucking platform, it is incredible, dude. Right, in a world where we are so connected, konon near lah.
Yeah.
Post-graduation, you don't meet anybody new, right?
Yeah.
That is the rarity, That's like if if you're single, I don't know lah, right?
Single, yeah.
It's fucking hard,
Yeah.
I know you have a church, you have like a support system and everything, but it's still tough because you feel like that's your family and it's not exactly girlfriend.
Yeah.
Then you kind of have to navigate that whole social dynamic. But when it's YouTube, right, it's kind of like no holds barrel. If I meet you, I like you. If I don't, then it's okay lah. But it's a friend, we get to know each other. I met Jen off YouTube, in the comment section.
Wow.
I met like so many
Your
people.
girlfriend, Jen?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
We've
crazy.
been 5 years together.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Today, right? Until today, right? If you look for
On the podcast.
no, on YouTube, I do vlogs.
Oh, so your vlog? Okay.
Yeah, so
it'd be crazy if because of Yamcha
bro.
sessions,
Yeah, no.
you met lah.
Next thing you know, he's gonna date you, bro.
Oh damn.
Don't worry. You're definitely on top.
This podcast is brought to you by Skillshare. Skillshare bullshit lah. As if Skillshare will advertise here. But you could. If you pay 50 ringgit, your ad would be on the podcast. 30 seconds for 50 ringgit. Let me know if you guys are interested. Thank you Patreons who pay patronage on Patreon. If you guys want to support the podcast, every little bit helps. You just hit the patreon.com Yamcha Sessions link below. Then y'all can contribute. You can improve the podcast steadily but surely. If you guys are interested in hosting us in your cafe, event space or whatever, just let us know and we can figure something out. I also want to hit this 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year goal. So if you guys could really help out by hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, not hitting your partner but the notification button, that would really help with our goals. Because if you hit 1,000 subscribers, right, then only you can do the ad rolls. Then we don't really need to fucking do all this 50 ringgit ad shit. And we don't need to find sales because YouTube will find the sales for us. Thanks guys. Hope you all enjoy the rest of the podcast. Love you long time.
Oh damn.
Don't worry. You're definitely on top.
Oh dear Lord.
But she commented on one of my chili pan mee videos,
Right.
and I was like, Jon, let's go out lah. Go on a date lah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
so we went on a
But
date.
props to you for being brave though. A lot of guys wouldn't do that, man.
Bro, I was like, fuck it lah. All the girls I'm dating right now are bitches, right? So I must just give it a shot lah, right? Wow. Yeah, it was terrible, at the time. Because I just came back from the States and I was like dating here and there. I'm like, wow, quite bad way.
Yeah.
You know?
Actually, a lot of guys say that lah. No.
I mean, girls, I think both sides, it's just hard, and it's just very challenging to find someone on the same wavelength. In general, you know.
So I think the problems are different. Like with girls, the problem is low battery. With girls, the problem is you have to kind of like maneuver through a lot of douches lah. There are a lot of assholes out there.
Guys just want get laid only ma.
Yeah,
right?
but guys it's different because guys we don't really have a demand. Like it's only the 10% of guys that are good looking enough to get the girls. 90% of dudes don't have that power.
Yeah.
Whereas with girls, 90% of them has the power.
Correct.
You know?
They just got tits. I hate to say it, but they have like the physicality for us to want to reproduce. That's it. So that's why it's easier. But then for girls, right, the standard for us is like
even if you have like a girl who's like maybe 6 out of 10, you know, based on looks, right, you could still put her on, like she could still have a really nice profile on Instagram.
Yeah.
She still looks good, you know. But let me tell you, a 6 out of 10 guy, right, is actually a bad looking dude lah. You know, like you would not like to see his photos on Instagram.
Correct.
And I don't mean to be superficial. I'm just talking purely physicality.
like first impression.
Yeah.
You see, you judge. It's like that lah.
Yeah. I'm not saying that I'm a 9 out of 10. I know my number.
I also know our numbers, bro. That's why we do podcasting and not modeling, bro. Okay, I'm just putting it out there.
So I'm speaking from that number. I'm speaking from that position. I can tell you that, like, girls, even if you're like a 5, you can still be like calendar worthy because you know. But guys, right, if you're a 5, who's gonna put you on a calendar? Who's gonna put you on Instagram?
Because girl, right,
guys.
you can also kind of do makeup. You can kind of look cute. You can be cute. You can be hot. You can be like,
right.
I'm the intelligent librarian type thing. You're like, okay lah. But guy, no matter what, you cute. What the fuck are you? You hot? You like always got problem one, you know.
Yeah.
It's just gender dynamics, though, right?
Yeah.
It's simply because they have to go through pregnancy for 9 months. They have to be selective of who they want to be with.
Yeah lah,
100%.
Right? It is what it is, lah. Right?
Yeah.
What's really heartbreaking to me, right? Which, by the way, I've been on TikTok a lot lately, right? Okay. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Honestly, super entertaining shit, right? Okay,
Yeah.
Objectively. So I saw this video. It's about how guys these days are just valued based on what they can provide.
Right.
Right.
Money,
And like the love for a guy is directly correlated to a huge extent to how much he can provide, as opposed to an inherent love for this guy.
Yeah.
It's the
Right.
5 C's, bro.
Cash.
No.
I was gonna. It's either that or cock. No, opt for option 1.
It's cash, condo, car, credit, and something. I forgot. It's Singaporean slang.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
really like, oi, got 5 C, you know. Then only date the guy.
Which is really like just heartbreaking, right? So if you think about it, right? So even if you are in a relationship, if you're really honest with yourself, how much of you is actually loved because of you?
Yeah.
I know how to prove that. When you date that girl, right, you do some weird shit, and then if she still accept you and laugh together, then you know she's the one.
No, some people tell me like, some people say like, hey, Roshan, don't worry. You know, like, even if you get older, right, the moment you earn money, right, for sure you can get a girl.
Yes,
no issue.
confirm.
Whereas girls is not necessarily the case, right? But for me, it's like, why would you want that?
Yeah,
why would
exactly.
you want only having to be able to find a girl when you can give them money? Then wouldn't you question whether that girl really likes you?
She will.
Really
For
if
money.
Yeah lah, you know, it's like there's a problem of men sexualizing women, but there's also a problem of, and we don't talk about it as much, of women
The reverse.
because I see it a lot, dude. I know so many men who are like, either they're assholes and then they have this young beautiful wife, but they're really just attitude like psycho like that,
was just saying-
or they're super old,
Yeah, but then,
you know.
Yeah,
But you could have a decent guy who's like just after college, but it's so difficult to get a girl.
I think it's like a gamble for the girl. It's like, ayo, what happens if I date this guy, right, and he cannot offer me stability? What happens if I date this guy and he starts beating me when we get married? Stuff like that, lah, right? So I'm pretty sure this type of shit runs through a girl's mind.
Yeah.
I was listening to the Anissa podcast, right? The
Aisa.
Sorry, Aisa. And she was saying on Clubhouse, right? So she leads this women's rights thing. Okay? So imagine, right? People sit in for this Clubhouse and they're listening, right?
Yeah.
Then this guy comes in, right? And I shit you know what he says? He says, when I come back home, I expect to see dinner on the table. If I don't, right, my wife is gonna fucking kena whack or some shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was serious. Like she said, this wasn't like a troll or anything. This guy was like serious.
Yeah, I will whack her. I'm like, God damn.
Like the guy didn't just like he and then log out. No, right? This guy was there with a mission. He said what he had to say and he logged out.
Yeah, he chow.
Yeah.
And then they track him and all that, but his Facebook all like, private as fuck.
And they stalked him. He's not a bot.
Yeah.
You know, he has a legit Instagram account and things like that.
Mad shit, right? So if you're a girl, right, you hear that shit, right? Dude, I'll be like, at least got money lah. If got money, at least can jalan lah, right? But I think it's different lah. So that's why I say you should do weird shit to your girlfriend after you date her.
I think, like he said, the dynamics are different. The way we relate to each other in the different genders is different. The way we express aggression is different. Like I was listening to a psychologist, and then he was saying that boys, the way they express aggression is through violence lah. But girls, the way they express violence is through like gossiping, slander. They are more relational in their communication, and so the communication styles are also very different because of that. So it's just like with guys, right? In social media sense, it makes sense. A lot of guys just play games. Literally, that's what
pretty much.
you look at chimps. That's what they do. They just roam around with all their buddies, find an enemy and whack.
Yeah.
It's just chimp nature on the screen, right? Makes sense. Girls, it's social media.
Because they're all plucking fruits last time and then they talk. It's kind of like that whole...
It's the way they communicate.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
relational.
It's
That's why you see
community,
more girls play, like really play Instagram, Facebook, or all these social media stuff than guys. Guys watch, but girls really participate. And they really value their sense of self-worth based on how many likes and comments and guys also. I'm just saying this generally.
Generally.
Of course, guys feel that way, girls feel that way as well. But I'm saying just generally. So I think it's important that we talk, and it's not to say that, because when I heard that the psychologist said that, a lot of comments were calling him a sexist. Or you're saying only girls gossip.
Is it Jordan Peterson?
It's not
Jordan Peterson.
Jordan
Peterson says all this type of shit.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson is one of them. But this guy that I'm talking about is actually Jonathan Haidt, which is a friend of Jordan Peterson.
I knew it. Dude, I knew it. I was like, this is a very Jordan Peterson.
No, but a lot of people like say like, oh, that's sexist lah. You're just saying women gossip. No, that's not what we're saying. We are saying that people communicate in different ways based on the gender. It could be biological.
And it's a general saying, because you kind of have to have a general saying in order to have a conversation, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise you're going to be like, hey, Nancy Liu, right? From this, right? Then you're like, how lah your data? How come you all like robot all like send info, right? Unless Elon Musk do the whole...
No, like, let's say, that's the funny thing about stereotypes. Let's say I say Chinese people are really good at math. Okay? And of course, it's not true for every single person.
Yeah.
But I could make a case that culturally, mathematics is really important to the Chinese community, and numbers is something that's emphasized from a young age.
Yes.
Just like I can say, Indian people are really good at speaking. So you get upset because I'm not good at speaking, but I'm not saying you specifically. I'm saying in general, the culture.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
we I don't know why I think it's bad when we take things so like personally.
I think so too. You reach a point in this whole time in social media where people are like overly sensitive. It's that whole point. I feel like sometimes when you go through Instagram and shit, right, then you see people so like politically like one-sided also.
And for the people who say like, what's the problem with that? What's wrong with saying the right thing? What's wrong with curating our words so that we are very, very accurate? The problem is you get someone like Trump, because Trump says things like how normal people talk, like how normal people say things, and then immediately you think, oh, he's saying all these things without a filter, so that means what he's saying is the truth, and that's not true. But that's the problem when you're too politically correct.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like you go through this rabbit hole of like...
So which question did I answer with that one?
We have to write down a new one now.
Why is it called Rumah Roy?
How the fuck is this?
It was, why is it called Rumah Roy? Then you say it's your father.
Answer the question.
I don't know how the fuck we got there.
Okay, by the way, Roy is my dad.
Yeah.
Rumah Roy.
Yeah.
House of my dad lah.
You said this like the first 5 minutes of the podcast.
No, but it wasn't recording.
Not yet.
It wasn't
It
recording.
wasn't recording.
okay.
Just to say lah.
I think we kind of went to like teams and then how we are working together, and then after it went to how I said AVA Japan was talking about values, and then after I talked about values and like I found people on YouTube, and then I met Jen on YouTube. Then it kind of went on like how you have conversations
female
about
dynamics.
then you talk about like cancel culture and shit like that lah.
Yeah, I've been talking a lot. I don't really want to talk a lot about cancel culture because I feel like I talk about it all the time.
Don't worry, we'll get to anime. Because
I do believe in this really strongly, and I'm also trying to walk this balance. I want my female cousins, maybe one day I'll have daughters, I want a safe space for them. I want them to be able to feel safe 100%, but at the same time I think we need to not, just because we want to achieve that goal, it doesn't mean we shouldn't talk about the bad dynamics that come out with being a woman.
I think you should just be aware of it. You should just be aware of it. Like, I remember you were talking about how leave your laptop in your car thing. I was like, that's a brilliant analogy. That's brilliant, because he was saying how, okay, imagine, right?
Yep.
You see a girl that gets raped, right? And then the guy is like, it's your fault because you dress like that.
Okay.
then it's like, wow, then fucked up, right? You know?
Sure.
But in the end, right, you shouldn't be victimizing the girl. That's the point, lah, right?
Okay,
Then he was like, yes and no, lah. But takkan, right, let's say, I go.
And this is a very controversial. A lot of people don't believe this, lah.
Yeah. He's like, imagine I go to a shopping mall.
Okay.
I got a laptop in my bag.
Yep.
Then I leave my laptop in the car. Then someone break into my car. Then people like, why you so stupid, leave the laptop in the car? It's the same shit, you victimizing the fucker also, right?
Like in that case, like because it's happened to me before. Then my parents told me like, why you so stupid? You know, right? You know not to leave your bag there, right? Can I look back and then you're victim blaming?
Yeah. Wow, your parents should fuck you up. I see the disgust in your face.
No. So here's the thing. I think, and so their argument is, so like for example, let's say a girl alleges or a woman alleges sexual assault, right? She alleges sexual assault, and if I question that, people say that's victim blaming, and I just think that's wrong because I think, and their reason for doing that is because women are so don't have enough avenues, so we cannot not believe them at all. But I feel like that's not right, lah. And I feel we should be able to critique like reckless behavior. You know, I feel it goes both ways. You need to fix the system, but individuals also need to have knowledge.
I think it's like two cars that have to be moving at the same time, type of thing. It's like progress needs to happen on both sides. It's like if you know you go to a country that is a very like
Horny.
I don't know whether horny is the correct word lah, but you know it's not exactly the safest, right? You don't go and dress promiscuously as a girl or as a guy or whatever. You don't attract attention because you just want to play it cool. I think generally people just want to like, you know, I don't want to attract attention. Yeah. At the same time, right, you feel like, oh, I want to demonstrate who I am as an individual and showcase to the world. Case in point, right, if you have a tattoo, right, you show yourself to the world, right? You go to Japan, you can't exactly go into a hot spring, bro. Some hot springs will tell you, I'm sorry, culturally, we don't accept this shit. You have to respect that, right? You know what I mean? So I think it's the same way, but it's like, it's opening because some onsens in Japan are opening up to people with tattoos. Just like how some countries are getting safer for women. But it's like, it has to work in tandem.
I'll give you another example. If my friends were to dress in any particular way, and if any guy were to kacau them, I would be in their face. And I would never tell my friends or girls, cover yourself up. No way. You know, if I was dating a girl and she wanted to dress a particular way, I'll let her dress however she wants because she's an adult. That's not the issue. If I had a daughter, I would tell my daughter, be careful about the way you dress.
Yes, that's the point. It's like,
because that's the reality of the world.
Yeah.
And you have to protect yourself. If not, you're going to be chickens with freaking foxes coming after you, man.
Yeah, man. You attract it, lah.
And I understand the argument. The argument is you don't even say that because you're perpetuating the problem. But I just feel like, no. I think that is too far already.
Yeah.
You know, that's where I come from.
I feel like a lot of times people don't see that. It's kind of like, I just want to see the extreme of it.
Yeah.
You know? And then it's like, it's storytelling, like, storytelling material compared to the whole mediocrity of like finding that fine line.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of tough.
And when that conversation with Isa doesn't agree with me, but we had a good conversation. And Isa makes very good points.
Is she a lawyer?
She studied law. She even did her master's in Oxford. And she was a lawyer, but now she is like, she's in-house now.
I see.
She's in-house now. So she still works in legal.
I see.
But she's not a litigator. She doesn't go to court. No.
Okay. But you're saying
compelling arguments though, both sides.
Yeah, honestly, that conversation with Isa, so I felt it was very good because I think Isa made good points. I hope I made good points.
You made good points.
And so we find the truth somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I was literally running when I was doing it, when I was listening to the podcast. I stopped and I was like, wow, this is fucking conversation. I continue running.
We talked about a lot of stuff.
You know, it's very rare you have that whole context. And also, right, I think it's difficult to find podcasts in Malaysia because it's a Malaysian context. You know, in the US, it's very different.
Yeah.
The majority of podcasts, but I'll check out the Harith one. It's just different. The dynamic here is just different, you know. So when I heard that, like, wow.
Like we were talking about a real sexual, a very complicated, you know,
It's interesting.
thing
It's interesting.
that happened. Yeah.
But I think she has got a lot of experience with it because of her Seek to Speak podcast and everything as well.
And I
So
think
it's like stories
she
wise.
talks to women who have been attacked and harassed.
I see.
So of course you have a very emotional, like, I need to defend. There's a problem. There is a problem. We all see that there's a problem, and we need to be proactive. But always, sometimes there's a tendency to overcorrect, and so we need to be careful, lah.
Yeah.
So I feel like my position is, because I see the overcorrection, and I'm just trying to say, I get you, I support you, I want a safe place for women, but I think you need to also consider this approach.
Yes.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't, you know. A lot of people don't.
In fact, I will get attacked. They will tell me I'm sexist or that I'm victim blaming. Yeah, it's happened.
But it's tough,
I see.
It's tough to navigate that because people don't like to be told that they're wrong as well. So they kind of like have that thing. There was another conversation in that podcast. You were talking about how do I frame it? It's like, ayo, I lost it lah.
I was just thinking, what's the next question?
No wait,
Because I'm like, I'm curious to know what's the next question.
You know, in the podcast you said pin it. You know, you said pin it, pin that, and then you wait. We pin that first. You pin that
okay,
first. You pin that first. Then after I will drop my memory. I got next question first.
sure.
So now you told me what's the direction of the Rumah Roy podcast, which is basically you export and you upload.
Was that already recording though?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's recorded.
But that's the end goal, right? I guess the
Business question coming.
That's not a
worry.
business question. I guess it's just like the why you're doing it. So I know why you started it. It's out of passion because you like watching similar content, right?
Yeah.
But do you continue doing it because of passion, or is it because of potential monetary gain? Is it potential fame? It's not monetary gain. Can be right.
I think it's two things. One is I do enjoy the connections I'm building. So like meeting all of you guys, for example.
Yeah.
I would never have met you all. Aisa, I only met Aisa through podcasting. Harith.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I see.
I met Aisa through podcasting.
Oh fuck.
It's exactly the way how I met you, bro. Exactly the way.
Serious shit lah.
Harith, that guy on the top, same way. Met also similar ways. All these people, we've been on each other's podcasts.
Is Harith's podcast on YouTube?
It's on TikTok.
What the fuck?
It's on
TikTok is the
TikTok.
shit. Fucking serious.
He just so he's very interesting. First, he had last year his podcast and mine about the same age. He's slightly younger to me. So meaning I think he started in November. So first he had a Bahasa podcast, and he had a podcast where he just in English he just rants. Sorry, and so I was on both. Then after that he decided to pivot. He stopped the Bahasa podcast because he can't really speak Bahasa properly. I can't speak Bahasa properly. So he just can't stop the Bahasa podcast. He changed the location of where he did his English podcast. He rebranded, renamed it. He just put one camera, his phone camera, a mic at his sofa, and he does just clip. I mean, he did one episode. He just cuts
I know
clips.
who he is.
Puts it on TikTok. The sofa guy.
I fucking know who he is.
Yeah.
I've been watching his shit so much. And I just made that connection.
Yeah.
He speaks with an accent a bit, right?
A little bit.
Orang atas like dekat TTI punya kan.
Yeah. Bangsa bubble a bit.
Okay,
But he would hate that, I think.
He wears a nice looking cap.
Yes, that's Harith. That's Harith.
Very
man.
good looking guy though.
Yeah, good looking chap.
Well, I don't even know if I follow him. I just go on TikTok and I'm on.
So I'll just plug my episode with him is coming out.
Oh, shit.
He came on my podcast. This is the second time he's coming on, so it's coming out on Monday.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, cool.
So I met him through podcasting.
I see.
So that's one reason. Just having all these connections, meeting people like Justin Wong, you know, Kai M. Baka, you know, the director. Just meeting all these different people. It's been insane, lah. Like, I've really enjoyed meeting all these different people. Because I think I've been in the legal world for so long, and it's either legal people or church people. You know, there's no one else.
Yeah.
So just meeting people with different perspectives.
Is it via YouTube or Spotify or both?
What is that?
Like when they reach out to you, is it because they saw your podcast on YouTube or Spotify?
Sometimes it's Instagram. I think YouTube quite rare, like, actually. Most of the time it's Instagram, and some is like people just some people have come on my podcast and then they promote me. I mean, they recommend me to another person.
I see.
So and then sometimes I just see somebody and then I just like, that guy looks so interesting. And I will just message. I've become very accustomed to just texting people on social media.
It feels that way too. I feel like the world is like you can just ask and then like if you don't get a reply, it's okay lah, whatever lah, fuck it lah.
Yeah, no issue.
The repercussion is small lah, so that's why it's like
I've had people ignore me, but I've also had people like I didn't think would reply who've replied.
Bro, Iheng come on also. I didn't expect that shit.
Right. That was a big one for you all as well.
Yeah, man. I didn't expect that. Like
YouTube, that's what also about 3,000.
Yeah, man. Mad shit. I never thought for me, if I was like a big content creator, also I would do it. But it's just that I know you're trying to use me to promote that type of thing. But I'm surprised he's like so willing. Normally at that point when you're so fucking busy with life, right? Because he doesn't reply to my Instagram messages. You know, right? He doesn't reply to a lot of people's Instagram messages. Because that's how busy he is.
Right.
His life is just hardcore, man.
Yeah.
He basically like, sleeps like 3 hours a day only, right?
Yeah, I can tell he's a type A lah. Can definitely tell. I mean,
class is it?
No lah. As in like he's the 5 a.m. kind of guy lah. You know, wake up early, get it. You know, just about earning that.
Bro, I wake up at 5 a.m. also no point. I woke up at 4 before.
Bro, you got a booming podcast lah. Don't undersell yourself,
you
man.
know, just you know, it's damn funny. That time during the podcast, we said we were 400 and crawling. Now with 500 and crawling.
Oh shit, really?
You're 500 and crawling, bro.
That's great. That's
Yeah,
great.
man.
Dude, even your episode with Kenneth Tan came out. I so happened I was going home about the time you all uploaded it, like about an hour.
Bro, that was like 10 p.m, bro.
Yeah, I left my office at 11, I think, that night.
Legal life.
Yeah, so I just, like 1 hour like you uploaded, I'm like, bugger, they already got 100 people on YouTube already, you know.
Huh?
Like, as in 100 people have viewed your video.
You know why not?
Why?
Because we have a Patreon. The Patreons get it a week earlier.
Oh, but you mean your YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh.
They get early access. So if you pay, you get early
Right.
access. I mean, I think it's the least I could do for them lah.
I understand.
There was this dude right from Toronto. He just straight donate 200 ringgit a month, bro.
No, so because it was like
Shout out to
it was
Small XM.
it was 11 o'clock at night. I was like, who are these 100 people watching? yo, at 11,
Roshan.
11 at night. I was like,
Roshan.
shit.
Roshan.
Yeah, their fans are hardcore. They're just waiting until midnight.
No. Okay, so I have this thing. So in my YouTube channel, my main YouTube channel,
Yeah.
right? I post food videos.
Right.
Okay? But I purposely post 10 p.m. one, you know.
Why?
Because right, 10 p.m. is the key time.
Trigger the hunger.
Yeah, when people see
serious
yeah, like best ramen in KL, you're like, oh yo, 10 p.m. Why am I doing this? Then I fuck it, I click 1 view per minute. Yeah, for the next 3 hours. So at least I'll get 180. And I'm like, wow, people really like to watch food at night.
Yeah, man.
the thing.
And it's also YouTube lah. YouTube is
No, because Malaysians at 10 p.m. You makan family dinner already. Then you like, just go to bed lah. You know, now MCO and all that, right? So when you go to bed, you're like looking through your phone. Then you say, hey, notification. Then like that lah. To me, I think that's the most logical thing, weekday wise. But weekend is like, fuck it, I'm gonna get drunk tonight. You know, that shit. So different lah. So weekday is the time, quiet time at night.
right.
Yeah. So that's the approach I wanted to go with it.
Yeah.
But correct lah. See, you will see the notification at time.
Sorry, you said there were 2 reasons why you're continuing to do it, right? So one of which is connections.
Yeah.
One of it was connections, and the second one is what was the question was why I continue to do it, right?
Yeah, like what's the aim?
And also, I think the second thing is just having something to become better at.
Oh.
Like having having better conversation. I always, when I listen back to my episodes, I feel I'm still quite bad lah. So I'm
I think
trying.
great. What the fuck?
No man, I just feel like there's so much more I can. Like I want to become more like funny. I want to be more like spontaneous. I want to be, you know, like a
This
little
is
like
lessons from Poighai, bro.
yeah, like exactly lah. Teach me your ways, Sifu. Come on, man.
How to be spontaneous and funny.
Yeah,
I don't think you want to be that funny, bro.
Yeah, and
He said shit right there. It's like, ayo. This one I tell you after podcast. This one you cannot. This one you cannot.
Okay.
I thought we already mentioned it in the podcast.
I've mentioned it before.
what is that?
It's the cancer story.
Cancer story.
What cancer?
One of the best story in my life.
Let me tell the story because I was there lah.
Okay,
So
The podcast is going to be repeated.
I feel it's like the 4th time really.
Okay, lah. Then don't say lah. Then don't say lah. Then so like.
no, I give quick recap.
Okay.
So people who are watching, because when they watch the podcast, some people they don't know context also because they're new listeners also. So maybe they must just say it. But to keep it short and simple, right? We were in the lift after working out. We were all flexing. Then Poighai and I like, we take off shirt, fucking ons. In the lift going up, then there's this bald woman that comes in with her husband. Then he's like feeling flex and shit. Then he's like, nice haircut, auntie.
Ayo.
And I was like, oh my god, I am alive in this year and I am experiencing this awkward shit. So I literally hold my hand, I just do this and go to the corner of the lift and look at the corner of the lift while Poighai apologizes.
But did you know?
I didn't realize after I said.
Oh right.
Then only
It's one of the things you said it, then you're like
Once I
shit.
said that,
Damn.
the only time I actually think what I'm talking is when I'm working.
Right. So there was no like malice, like you really just didn't realize.
No malice. That one no malice.
right.
But it's kind of like, these are the times in life you would regret lah.
When I mean malice, like you didn't know, you really didn't know, right? It wasn't like even a bad joke.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
it's kind of like a knee-jerk reaction when you see and you're like, hey, because it's his neighbor.
Yeah.
So when you think people do radical Natalie Portman type of shit, you're like, oh, V for Vendetta.
Hey, Britney Spears, bro.
But actually, the auntie like, no, I have cancer, dear. Then you're like,
She actually said that.
yeah.
Ayo.
Ayo, that hurts even more, bro.
The
Someone said-
husband was like,
Oh no. She said dear some more.
That really, this is the most painful word.
I have cancer, dear. Yeah. So I was in the corner. Then after that, when we reached his condo already, I go upstairs to his house already. He was silent, bro. Silent. Then he give me soya bean. Then I also drink soya bean. Then he was like, fuck lah, John. Then I started laughing lah on the floor. Then I spit the soya bean on the floor so cannot tahan all that.
Okay, I don't want to say things like that on my podcast. I just want to be more spontaneous. I don't want to take it too much.
No lah, I mean, I think it's kind of like the shock value that we have in the podcast.
So, if you want to learn this, you need to come to one of our friends' Malay open house.
Malay open house.
Oh
Right,
my
and then-
god. No, don't say that shit on the
Another
podcast,
story.
fucker.
Then you will learn.
No, don't, no. I'll take it after the podcast.
This one only for Patreons, for patronage.
Yeah, that one, I don't know. We were thinking about that.
What did it? Okay.
We were thinking of doing that like an extended cut for people who are really true fans, because like the team majority wants concise, like the questions and all that, and it's good because after I talked to the group of friends that I usually hang out with every Friday night and we get drunk, they always say like,
Call me lah one day.
no, of course man, but Sungai Buloh quite far, but I got extra room.
Okay.
Nah, nice. So right, when they were talking, they were like, actually right, the timestamps really help lah. Yeah, because I think they kind of have an idea of where they are in the conversation.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay lah, this part I know that I'm not so interested in. Like, let's say they're not so interested in business, they kind of skip to the part where it's like philosophical as fuck, and vice versa lah.
Personally, for me, I think having questions is fine. I have no issue with that. I just think don't limit who you are. Just be who you are. You can change the structure, but be who you are. Don't stop. Don't tell Poighai, don't talk about that. Be. Don't stop him from being him lah. That's all.
You're already displaying. You're smoking, just fucking smoking.
Smoke. Yeah, that's my only thing. Just don't stop being who you are. Like the Kenneth episode, honestly, even with the questions, I felt it was still organic. So I think,
Bro, we know Kenneth, right? Since we were like 12, bro.
Bro, I know Kenneth since the one.
Yeah, man, dude, we know
he's
him a long time.
he's the most chill, successful guy I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
Dude,
for real.
Ken, right, was a hardcore motherfucker when he was young.
Right.
Yeah, that's what you don't see. Ken, like, was so competitive. And he's damn good. Like, honestly, right, like, when you watch, did you play Pokemon when you were young?
I played the exercise book where we draw.
Fucking hell. No lah, fucking hell. Jesus. Okay. A bit of
You
context.
draw the box, then your friend, you just stop the pencil, then your friend picks a Pokemon for you.
No, that's not the Pokemon game I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Game Boy shit. Okay,
Right,
basically,
right.
Ken, right, is the guy, right, that always outdo what you can do. He's always a step ahead. He's like a level ahead. And he's like, wow, damn good. Wait, how the fuck does Ken think of this shit? How? He's fucking competitive,
He's like a Shikamaru from.
Yeah, precisely. He is Shikamaru of the group.
Yeah.
But. And he's also considered like, Ponting, I don't care, class and that thing. But I think when he grew older, he wanted more. He wanted, it's like, what's the definition? So he just kept going, lah. Right? Whereas all of us are like, hey, 9 to 5, fuck it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So Ken is that type of guy. You can see it's reflected, and honestly, I think he's just more chill now because he's got that whole like comfort with him right now.
Yeah, I mean, when I listened to that as well, I was so impressed, and then I was like, question a lot of my own personal decisions in my life. Like,
Same man.
yeah.
Just gotta do it.
No, I think it's different, bro. Because I was talking to AV Jimmy about this also. Same shit. I like, what is defined as progress? Is it the numbers? Is it the money? Is it the fame?
No, it's in the sense that I feel like I wish I had his mentality, because I think I played it safe lah. I played it safe.
Didn't we all?
Yeah,
Except
that's
Poighai quite
the
renegade
thing.
lah. Chok also quite renegade lah. Quite hardcore.
Oh, 100% lah. But most of us, I think a lot of us have the tendency to play it safe. And I wish I had the tendency to like, and it's also because he really believed in himself.
Yeah.
For you to go and get that amount of money to pinjam, right? You need to believe in yourself. And I never really had that. I'm a super insecure guy.
Yeah. Same.
I would never be able to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be able to borrow like whatever 70,000 from my aunt or whatever, and
pay back and
I wouldn't. I would be too
also.
freaking scared,
I
man.
also. Honest to God, I also. Yeah. But after that, I'm like, fuck it lah, ask me lah. But I don't know lah. I also half about it. I'm like thinking, why not, right? What happens if you're in that?
So that's why, for me, that's this podcast lah. It's like just me trying to stop giving excuses and just do something lah.
I think what you got is good though. Honestly speaking, it's very rare to have like conversation. The only problem, which is one of the questions actually, but this is quite a hit lah. But you know the niche in Malaysia, right, where people are English at, right, and they speak, right, it's so small.
Yeah.
It's
Tiny,
basically
tiny.
It's basically PJ people.
Yeah.
It's basically PJ people.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
Yeah, the rest, right? Andrew and I, right, are so banana as fuck, right? in Setapak, right? When we go and buy food, right? We don't know what the fuck people are saying, you know.
Yeah.
Then you go PJ, suddenly, I can eavesdrop,
Yeah.
What the fuck? So I think the segment is very small, and exposure is difficult because people judge based on subscribers and views and all that. So when they see that, it's like, doesn't equate to good.
You know,
So
but
stuff.
I also had this in my mind. I think it's a big problem for English-speaking podcasters. But I have hope because of Singapore, because I feel there are a lot of content creators in Singapore, and they are banking.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I believe in Singapore. Dude, what?
I believe in Singapore.
I believe in Singapore.
Fuck Singapore.
No. You know, there's that podcast. Okay, let's go. You know, they had some controversial. Something happened.
Is it the girls that sit on the couch and they talk about sex?
No. Okay, let's go. It's just 3 guys. They used to be radio dudes in Singapore. They created a podcast, long form content. You know, like 3 hours kind of thing. But they split into parts. 3
Is
parts.
this Brian?
I don't know. I can't remember. No, they are all Malay guys.
Oh,
they're all Malay guys, but they are English speaking, and their podcast is doing like really like 6-figure kind of well. Like it's very, very good. I mean, I'm not saying the content is very, very good. It is okay, but I'm saying that there's a big following.
Sure.
And even like I see like if we could just translate like the success that people had on YouTube, like Genie Boy, Ming Ting, if we could translate that to podcasting, I just think not enough people are listening to podcasts in Malaysia yet. Yet.
That's what I think.
So I think when it picks up, hopefully it will work out.
You know what's funny, right? When people really like a podcast, right? They're like, oh my god, I found a gem, you know. Then they like stop that shit, you know. They go back, you know. Like AV Japan, he's like, oh my god, when I found out, right, about you all, I just backtracked. He watched everything already.
Yeah.
And sometimes he replays it. I'm like, my god, dude, what the fuck? You crazy, man. But that's because we are the creators, so you don't really see the spectrum, the opposite spectrum of the viewers.
Yeah.
So the viewers kind of like, I want more content. But there's not enough content.
Yeah.
There's never enough because when you watch on YouTube, it's like, oh, I watched all the recommended already. Fuck lah, damn boring already.
Yeah.
So a new one is like, oh fuck, I don't trigger.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's different in that sense. But I think the niche here is too small.
Yeah.
But you're right, maybe Singapore lah.
Yeah.
They speak English lah.
Yeah.
Stop! Guys, I have to make a leave first because I have a prayers at 7 o'clock.
Go for it, man.
Go,
Okay,
go,
man.
please.
Hey, it was nice meeting you.
Oh, Indian, don't worry.
Indian, don't worry. What the fuck?
Anytime you need beer, you can call me. It's not a stereotype, please, anytime, Any moment, let me just take my stuff.
What the fuck?
Indian, don't worry. Should I be worried?
Don't worry.
Bro, unless you Lashwin. Lashwin or Praveen. The fucker, he throw wallet at Praveen before.
But if you
Lashwin is going to be so pissed at me for saying this shit.
but if you anger me, you will face what Chan faced lah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm
There's this Chinese guy who was selling McDonald's in our school last time because it's part of this whole promotion ICT thing. Then in the end, right, he was like, hey, give free lah, give free lah. You know how people are like that, right, as kids. You're like, hey, just give free lah, give free lah. Then you leave it. He's like, fuck you, free shit lah, okay? Everything free. Then I was like, Poighai, calm the fuck down, bro.
He's already
I'm tired
No.
of walking up and down listening to free shit every fucking
No,
day.
you're like Aaron from Attack on Titan. You saw the future. You saw all the MC gigs you were going to do in the future, and all the people asking you for free shit.
Got it lah. Chan got it well lah.
You live the whole lifetime, went back in time to relive your childhood.
I am just so sorry he received it. Lah. It could have been somebody else. Could have been Rachel who, hey Sarah, bam! You know? But it was Chan lah.
It would not have been Rachel.
Why don't we know Rachel?
It wouldn't be Rachel. Rachel.
You
would
like
have fucked
Chinese
her up.
girls, right?
Bro, I'm dating one now. I got engaged.
You got
with
engaged?
one.
Oh, yeah.
I got
Congrats.
engaged.
He just fucked himself up again, you know. It's like, I'm dating one right now. So, engaged with I'm dating this dude. See what again.
Hey, bye, man. Take care.
Pleasure meeting you. See you next week.
Okay, yeah,
Next week,
100%.
doing the reverse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go. Reverse sunrise.
Actually, Chuck, can you do main cam and then help me lock the door when he goes up? If you don't mind. Okay. We go to the next question first. So, before you start on your podcast, right, do you have like a list of questions before you ask and all that, or is it just completely free form?
Yeah, I think you all are familiar with that as well.
What's the format like? You're just asking them about their experience, their careers, their lives in general?
So normally what I do is it depends on who they are, but I will try and I don't know how to say this, consume their content
I see.
before they come on. So maybe like 1
I
week,
see.
I just listen to, if they have YouTube videos or whatever, I just listen.
Yeah.
If they are like on Instagram, I just look at their stuff, whatever they've written or whatever. and I just kind of let it like marinate. And so it's either I talk to them about their lives or I talk to them about an issue related to whatever.
Oh, okay, I see.
Okay.
And also I like if it goes somewhere else and we talk about something else. But again, like that's why I feel like there's so much, I can be so much better in what I do. Sometimes I see the flow of conversations later, like, oh, it could have gone this way, it could have gone this way. I could have built a more organic conversation, and then I miss opportunities, and yeah, that's the trouble.
That one is critique. It's very harsh critiques on yourself, I feel. But I think the questions have brought a different dimension to our podcast in a sense, because there's a form of direction. So when people listen, they kind of like, okay, got nuggets of information in the timestamps. So if people are there for that, it's there. You don't need to go through the whole thing. But at the same time, I feel like the organic feel is a bit less. Because now you have to go through questions, and I prefer to kind of like wing it.
Yeah.
But that's just my thing. I don't know. Because Joe Rogan does that, right? So I was like, wow, bro. If you look at the whole setup also, it's kind of very Joe Rogan-esque. So I'm like, oh, that feeling is there. And you know when you like you were saying about Alfred, right? When you kind of break down the guest, right? This room isn't really a podcast room. It's a confession room in a way. People start to open up and shit like that. I'm just waiting for the first fucker to cry only.
Actually, honestly, I also feel the same way. I've always said this. I would really want to have a conversation with someone that really kind of like everyone really opened up and it really affected them.
Yeah.
There was one episode I really regret. It was my friend Samantha had come on, and we were talking, and then she was just sharing about some trauma she had experienced when she was a teen. Her grandmother, she had this really hardcore.
Grandmother.
Yeah, really bad. Like, and it really, really affected her. Like the grandmother like put a knife to her neck, kind of shit lah. Like it's really, really bad. And she had so much of mental health issues after. She had so many things she had to deal with after that. So she brought it up, and we were talking about it. And then I felt uncomfortable, so I just moved the conversation somewhere else. Then after I looked back, I was like, ayo, it was such an opportunity to talk about something so personal to someone and deep. And she brought it up.
Yeah, she was willing to share.
I didn't like suddenly, even though of course I know about this thing, I didn't bring it up. She brought it out. So we could have actually explored that a lot more. So it's one of the things I like, yeah.
But I think what's so that's the bad side of things, right? What's optimistic about it is you are willing to introspect, right? Which is actually very rare and actually a bit painful to do sometimes.
Yeah,
right. Because you're essentially like looking for faults.
Yeah.
Something you've done very recently kind of hurts objectively.
Yeah.
But it leads to self-improvement.
Yeah, definitely.
So
and part of it is also is taking the time to say like, that episode went well. And what did I do well in that episode as well? So it should be both. You should criticize yourself and like how do I improve, and also affirm yourself and like how do I maintain or be better at that. Right. Yeah, some episodes I really enjoyed.
I feel like sometimes I don't do enough good in the podcast versus the whole mediation of the podcast. I feel, but there was a time I think Poighai, right? I forgot who was the guest, but the guy was already
carried as fuck, man. He carried the team.
No, he got carried also, but there was one, right? I remember that guest also was going through a very sensitive thing, and then like Poighai did something funny, and then it kind of like interrupted it, which was quite a shame, I feel. And that guest is quite a hard person also. I can't remember right now.
It depends. It depends. I think that was my problem with Samantha. My problem is I wanted to protect her.
I see.
Right?
I see.
And so that is not necessarily bad. But the question is, do you need to protect that person? Some people maybe you need to protect lah. They might say something they regret later. Like for my podcast, I don't cut anything. So it just goes up as is. So sometimes it's like you don't want them to say something that they regret later and ask to cut lah.
Right.
So you have to be kind of
You
discerning.
haven't had to cut yet,
Only once.
Oh.
Once because he said something about his job, and then he called me after that, and he was like, "I'm really sorry, but I because it's a new job and they're not comfortable, so I could you really cut it out?" So I cut out a small clip lah where he said his job, where he worked. That's the only time.
I had to cut 4 times. Fucking depressing.
Yeah.
Fucking depressing. One is about same thing. Said something about the boss do something shady. Have to cut that one out. Then a couple of the podcasts is we did the whole podcast already. Okay. Right. Did the tattoo on the podcast also.
Huh. Then
He said the whole thing cannot be uploaded.
why?
Quite controversial lah. Actually, at that point when so a tattoo artist, right, has to go through like an apprenticeship. So you have to do like a couple of years that thing.
Really?
Yeah, you have to do apprenticeship
Not
because
even a couple of years, bro.
it's actually 5 lah.
It's 5 years.
I'm being very like nice about it lah.
Damn.
5 fucking years, bro.
And no fixed income. You only get per cut. So if you get a person that wants to do a tattoo with you, you get a cut of that because it goes back to the parlor.
What is this? What's the regulatory body that governs this?
It's the guy, but I can't say on the podcast because
Right.
bro, this place, right, is so famous in KL, right? and they take apprentices so rarely. So he's only like 1 out of 2. So if I said it, I think they know already lah. You know, and he said it wrongly because they do pay him, but they pay based on cut. So I think he kind of worded it differently.
Right.
Then after I did everything already, did timestamps, all that BS already, right? Then he's like, John, I'm sorry, man. I don't think you can post the podcast.
That's
I know."
damn painful, man. That's damn
Yeah,
painful.
it's a curse. Episode 96 is a curse. Yeah, it was him, and then it was the lawyer after that.
Yeah.
Then that one also she told me had to take it down. Then I like, dude, 96 is a curse.
Even when I recorded Aisa's episode, the moment we ended, my Mac because my Mac is old, 10 years, it just turned off, you know.
Oh my
I didn't even save it yet. I was like, oh my. And I was like, Aisa, it just turned off. I really hope it like auto-save lah. Normally it auto-saves lah. Then we were both like, oh my goodness, we just went through this freaking long conversation. And I'm like, she also like, please lah. Then I turned it on, luckily it was okay. It was there. I was like, but the moment even considering the whole episode burning, imagine the whole conversation gone.
I know.
It was so damn scary.
And it's a lot of effort, you know. Because people don't see it as that. People just see it as a video. But you don't see like the back end production or what you have to do, how to set up, and you have to connect all the wires, test it, see whether it works and all that shit.
Yeah, and you actually feel tired after that. Dude, you have a 3-hour conversation, you're gonna feel tired lah.
Yeah. Actually, I had a 5-hour conversation last night. Yeah, but it was over drinks lah. Then we were all high as fuck.
That's different, bro. That's different. That's very, very different.
You still go to park?
Yeah, I still go to park. Yeah. That's the I go to a park to drink because I want to save money from going to a bar.
Right.
So that's how it all started, and that's because of this girl long ago that like ghosted me. And then I like, fuck Laura lah.
Are you friends with her?
No, I'm not.
Oh, so you just shout her out on the...
But if you really backtrack my YouTube
You know
channel,
what? Y'all should have, instead of, I know y'all have one t-shirt, you should do another t-shirt, fuck Laura. Then sell it. I think people buy it.
It's insider news.
Wow, that one if she see on. But you know what's funny, right? She is known for ghosting guys, you know, after that. Then I'm like, oh, actually, I'm not that special also. Because she ghosts so many guys already. Yeah.
That sucks lah.
So until today now, right, every time a girl goes somewhere, you're like, wow, kena Laura, wey.
Sometimes I give that... you kena Laura. Sometimes I feel like people who ghost, like the generous reading is they feel too bad to, you know, they don't like confrontation. So they just think, I just won't say anything lah. Some people break up so like that, what? They just don't say anything. Yeah, it's like, am I still until the other person faham, you know, because they just don't want to confront. But of course, I'm sure there are people who are just like, they don't give a damn lah. You know, that's the worst lah. That's really bad. I think
very tough lah. Because nowadays you can. You can, that's why you do it. Like, why do confrontation when you can ghost?
Because one of the most, I think, scariest thing for a human being, wherever you are, is rejection. Because that's the first trauma I think most of us feel when we're younger. Like getting, like you want food, but your mom says, as a baby, right? Maybe you want food, but your mother doesn't give you food. That's rejection. So it's always usually the first, or you want to be carried, but your mother doesn't carry you, your dad doesn't carry you. You are rejected.
Yeah.
So that's the first kind of trauma you have ever felt, rejection.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, so it's we all really, men in particular, right, are very scared of rejection.
It's
Let me tell
also
you.
lah. It's like ego also. It's like you think you're
No,
at that level.
underneath the ego, for a lot, I think for most men, lah, of course there are narcissists out there, but I think for most men, right, the ego is a front. They're actually afraid of rejection. You know, they feel like, I'm so good, what? It's actually not that. That's what they say outside. Actually, they're saying deep down is, you don't think I'm good enough. It's actually a fear of rejection. I think lah.
I think inherently a lot of like human beings are social animals, right? We operate in a community, we operate alongside people, right? To be rejected from your colony or your community is the ultimate punishment.
Yeah.
It's like isolation in some sense.
And then you die essentially, effectively, right? If you were a hunter, right? You need to rely on other people for shelter, right? And if you're excluded from that, you're dead, literally. So that just stems to today lah.
Maybe it carries forth lah.
Yeah, it was like those white guys in America. What do they call themselves? There's a word for it, but I can't remember now.
What the fuck? I'm just taking it to the extreme.
There's something.
White guys in America.
That's the opposite. You know, the KKK group are not excluded. They have formed a tribe.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're the opposite. The better version is the guys who, what do you call, forced celibates? They have a word for it. They have a shortened word.
What? Forced celibate?
Yeah, let me Google this.
What the fuck does that even mean?
It says Christianity knowledge or what?
No.
Am I just being stupid? Or? No.
No, it's general knowledge.
Isn't a celibate the person who doesn't want to have sex until they're married?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Wait, let me just. Can I just
The
Google it?
fourth. So there
'Cause
were,
I just
there,
wanna
there are
know.
only 4 or pretty sure there are more than 4.
Incel. Yeah,
That's very far away.
involuntarily celibate. So what happens is this usually young white men can't find partners. Girls keep on rejecting them. Not saying that this is a girl problem lah, but these guys are just, they have maybe social issues, they can't read social cues. They are generally what you would consider maybe the losers in the community lah.
They're just kind of weird, right?
Yeah, and so they can't get a partner, and that rejection makes them just hate women. Like they really,
It's like a reverse thing because you don't get it, that's why you hate it.
yeah, they hate women, and so these guys will eventually, like a lot of times, become lone gun shooters.
Sorry.
High school shooters.
Oh shit, like literally.
Yeah.
I thought like the guy was coming on the wall or some shit. I'm like, shooter.
I took it very figuratively as well.
I'm like, this guy doesn't even watch porn, he just go to the wall, fuck women, then go come on the wall, that shit. I'm like, this one really about shooters. I'm like, oh shit, I feel so bad for thinking that. Oh.
Yeah.
I see. They take it out lah on the community lah.
Yeah, because they are rejected. You know, like what you're saying, that we need to be part of a community, and when we feel disconnected from the community, when we are excluded from the tribe, we get super upset.
Yeah.
And it becomes weird. Actually, you know what's a good anime about this issue, rejection? Neo Genesis Evangelion.
Bro.
Have you ever watched
I
it?
haven't seen it.
Have you watched it?
Evangelion just fucks you up in a different way. lah.
It's good.
Oh,
It's very old already.
It's
like
very old.
1998 already.
dude, you won't understand what you really
It's
want
the purple robot all that one. It's quite popular
No,
in
it
Japan.
starts off as a mecha
Yeah, then
anime.
after that, like
After that, it becomes like some deep philosophical.
Oh fuck, I love that shit, man.
No, bro, I thought I did as well. Then I watched it. I didn't understand the ending.
Shit.
I didn't understand the ending at all because the concept is they are fighting these sort of like angels that are coming to destroy the world.
Okay.
And so the higher ups, they feel that the only way for humans to survive is for there to be a what did they call it?
like a host to be in the machine.
All human beings must join, become one being.
Okay.
So then from that it becomes like a deeper conversation of should human beings be should there be individuality? Should
Or
there
should
be
be one?
One and then it's weird lah. So it starts off really like a mecha anime. Then suddenly the main character, you realize that he has damn lot of issues. His teammate, this is where I really knew that this anime is going way too psycho lah. His teammate, his other mecha teammate gets injured in the hospital. So he goes to visit her lah, carrying teammate, right? He is looking at her, he starts to masturbate lah and comes on top of her while she's in the coma.
Wait, I didn't watch that part. Bro.
Dude, it's on Netflix. You can watch it.
Whoa, that's intense, man.
Yeah, 100%. But that's the thing.
I didn't reach that part. What the fuck? Is this new?
No, it's there. Yeah. Okay, the thing is there's the series ended. Then after that they released
Oh, I only watched Evangelion. You need to watch Neo Genesis Evangelion. The second part, is it?
maybe lah. Because what happened was people didn't like the ending. People were so upset at the director. So he released
Wow, this is basically him masturbating on the fucking fans, bro.
he hated the fans, man. He was really upset because the fans were so upset. Like when he created, I can't remember the name of the director. When he created the anime, he was going through mental health issues. So the anime was supposed to reflect that.
Yeah.
You know, like in spite of all this pain, in spite of all the hurt, you know, you can still
Managed to find
yourself lah. You know, you need to. Because the ending is really weird. It's about him confronting all the people in his lives and he, you know, just finding inner peace.
Yeah.
People were like, what the hell is this? I don't know what this means. I don't know how it ended. Is he alive? Is he dead? I don't know. All I know is he's at peace. What does that mean? So people were upset. So he released, I don't know whether it's a movie or other episodes. He whacked back the fans lah. He gave an even more confusing ending.
But the anime is damn old. It's like 1998, and
Yeah.
then there's a long period of like hiatus where like they say that there's gonna be a second one, there's gonna be all this, and then when it comes out, everybody's like, wow, this is damn fucked up, man. I didn't watch the second part. I just watched the first part, which I thought like, wow, quite obscure at the ending, but like okay lah, quite good lah. But it's quite fucked up in a way.
What's the ending for? What do you? I don't know. Spoilers. But what's your?
I know there's a big explosion, and then like.
Yeah, you didn't watch the second part.
Yeah.
So the second part is the real ending. If you don't want to know the ending, don't watch it. But the ending is he and that mecha girl again. They are basically come back to
The love interest
kind
She's
of
the
lah.
Asuka, is it her name? The orange hair girl. No?
Yes, correct. So okay, I won't say too much, but
She's the
basically,
red colour makeup one.
the ending is he choking her. For no reason, he was trying to kill her. And then she just takes her hand and just strokes him. That's the end of it.
Wow.
No
that's
one.
fucked up.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
So anyway,
It's like very Darling in the Franxx. Have you seen Darling in the Franxx?
no.
Ooh. 02 fucking hot. Only Chuck will know lah, this one. Okay, wait. I go on to the next few questions first.
You should watch it. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, sounds interesting.
I was supposed to watch this anime called Bakemonogatari also. It's like a damn B grade anime type of thing. No, sorry, not B grade, B tier.
Yeah.
Because it's A tier, B tier, C tier.
Right.
Like A tier is just like mainstream shit, like what we watch. It's like Naruto, Bleach and all that crap. Then B tier is like, wow, quite deep one, like
Yeah.
all those like philosophical shit. Then C tier, you just straight up otaku already. You're like gone already. You are basically the guy collecting towels
Yeah.
to put on your bed before you go to bed, that thing.
Yeah. I'm not much of an anime guy. The only reason why I watched that one also is because I saw like recommendations on YouTube. It's like listed one of the best animes ever.
It is.
So that's why I watched it and I was like, damn.
Till today, Japan still has Evangelion everywhere.
Yes, huh?
Yeah, like billboards. They even have this in Fukuoka, like down south of Japan, right? They have this whole mall, and every 15 minutes, right, they'll play Evangelion music with the fountain and everything. Also.
Wow.
That's how hardcore they are about Evangelion, man. It's like a whole movement
I'm
there.
gonna Google this, man. I feel like I must have seen it somewhere.
It's a purple color robot, one, but actually it's not a robot. Whoa, whoa, fucked up.
And it also has like weird kind of Christian imagery.
Yeah.
Adam, Lilith, and all.
Yes,
it's just weird. But anyway,
Evangelion.
Yeah. I've seen pictures of it before.
But true fans don't call it Evangelion, they call it Eva. You watch Eva. Then,
yeah.
then they're like, yeah, man, fucked up. I was watching in my second company when I worked in Malaysia. So I like, then the guy told me you should watch Eva, bro. Then I like, oh, you fuck. It's fucked up.
I also watched it a long time ago, so I don't know. I can't remember exactly whether it was the second part, whether it was a movie or series. I can't remember. But I just remember being even more confused after that second part came out.
Oh, I thought you
But
must
the only thing you have to remember when you watch it is the context is it's actually it's about the boy and him dealing with his rejection. Actually, that's what the story is about.
It's so weird how like when you watch anime, right? And if you look at the person that created the anime, they are like polar opposites of the genre. If you look at, who's Junji Ito?
No.
Oh, actually, take that book called Uzumaki.
Oh, that was weird as shit right there, man.
Dude, just like legit, just open a few pages and flip through it.
Macam Bible je.
Just flip through how weird looking shit this manga is.
Yeah, I opened the first page and there's a picture of a fetus. And there seems to be a mushroom tree growing from the belly button of the fetus.
Yeah, bro, it's fucking weird, right? So this whole manga is based on spirals. Uzumaki means spiral. And how this guy is so fascinated with spirals, and it's damn creepy.
Uzumaki Naruto's last name?
Yes. Fun fact, Uzumaki means spiral, right? Naruto means the fish cake that comes in a ramen.
Right.
Yeah, so his name is based on that.
Right.
Naruto Uzumaki, right? So this Uzumaki is what spiral. I actually stumbled upon it because I thought it was like a prequel to Naruto. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I'm like, wow, this is kind of weird, bro.
Right.
Then you look at Junji Ito, right, the creator of this one. He's a happy-go-lucky guy. He's like, not so scary also.
Right.
Like there's this video on YouTube that's about Junji Ito reacts, and they show him like really scary things. Then he's like, quite funny. Yeah, but then you see the Studio Ghibli motherfucker, right? He's like smoking in the office. He's like, how do I make this a happy story? How? Then he like looking like he want to commit suicide.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's the complete polar opposite, Yeah. Don't know how the fuck.
No,
he's
it's the
gonna
same
deal
thing
with
like, Enid Blyton.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was super. Her kids hate her.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, her kids hate her like hell.
I don't even know how she
They
looks
said she
like.
was super mean.
Oh, shit.
Super like manipulative. Yeah, you can Google it. Even Mary Poppins, the lady who wrote Mary Poppins, she a bit more complicated, but she also was a very mean person.
Wow.
I mean, generally lah.
Sounds like Rowling also, right?
I don't know. I think J.K. Rowling is okay.
Is it?
Not like them. Like you could tell that this like Enid Blyton and the lady who wrote Mary Poppins, they had like again issues from childhood, and they were just like, some people are really angry.
It's very Martha Stewart-esque.
Martha Stewart is different, man. Martha Stewart is she's an alien. She is.
They all have the same look though, like creepy old women who like have repressed shit.
How Enid Blyton looks like.
Yeah, I got it. She looks like this. She looks like Martha Stewart, bro, but of her time.
Oh, yeah.
Right, dude. Martha Stewart of her time.
Yeah, but like Martha Stewart has like a bit of a like you can see she's a damn like
She's fucking
Lancy,
crazy.
you know, like really arrogant.
Dude, she's fucking crazy. That's what she is. Like, she looks like the type, right, that looks really good on TV, but then after that, behind the scenes, she's like yelling at me. Kind of like Ellen.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know what I mean?
But
Ellen, I
jealous,
don't
yeah.
know lah.
Oh, I didn't know she's crazy.
What the fuck?
She had that scandal that happened. You know that she's ending her show.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought she's a fucking icon.
19 seasons. Last year, two of her producers got called out by the employees for creating a toxic, hostile work environment. I think they were sexually manipulative or whatever.
Oh,
so then Ellen also got called out because she managed. I mean, technically she's the boss, what? And also then people started telling stories about how Ellen is as an employer.
She's
like
fucked up, yeah.
she doesn't allow people to eat meat in her office.
Yeah, stuff like that.
If they smell a particular way, she will get people to tell the person to go back and bathe. If you
Damn.
talk to her, you have to use a mint, and you cannot look at her in the eyes.
That seems really specific.
She's fucking crazy also, man.
Holy shit.
But the problem specifically with Ellen is the way she be kind. That's the problem with Ellen.
You see, this is why I feel on the podcast you should be yourself, right? And then you become like Conan. You should aim for Conan O'Brien. You shouldn't aim for Ellen, bro.
Yeah, Conan is the way he is.
Conan is the shit, bro. You watch Conan O'Brien shit?
I mean, periodically, whenever he comes up in my
That's why
feed.
he's fucking hilarious also. And he's like so like blunt with it. He's like, I
Yeah.
don't know why I'm doing this. But, it's
But
okay.
Conan also, like, he has a specific kind of humor. He's like a self-deprecating kind of humor that makes it very funny. But he's not a great I don't think his stand-up is good.
Oh, is it?
I don't think
I
so.
haven't seen his stand up before.
As in, you know, like how they do monologues before the late night. You know, before the interview,
Like they kind
always
of like a opening.
I don't like his monologues. I think his monologues are bad.
Is it?
Yeah, you watch like Graham Norton. Graham Norton's
Oh, Graham
monologues are
Norton's
good.
Graham Norton's great.
Craig Ferguson monologues
But
are good.
UK people normally damn good one.
True lah. They have a way of with words. lah.
Yeah, and Craig Ferguson has charm.
But
It's very rare.
my point with Conan, I think Conan is more his personality lah. That's makes him endearing lah. Because he's like all of us lah, like geeky, nerdy kind of dude, rejected by girls, you know.
Yeah. And his story is actually quite interesting because he was actually ousted out of the whole like TV production and all that. Then he's like, fuck it, I'll start my own. He started doing YouTube. He did all this by himself, Twitter and all that.
Yeah, no, he went to
NBC. Then the NBC found him. Yeah.
the late night wars lah. He was the second guy to Jay Leno.
Yeah. He was in line with.
Yeah, he was. I really like late night shows, so I know a lot about late night shows. So he was supposed to take over from Jay Leno. Jay Leno got a different segment, but Jay Leno just acted like he was cool, but he actually wasn't cool.
Yeah.
Then after that, they wanted Jay Leno to come back. They pushed Conan's segment later again. Because actually that segment that Jay Leno used to have is the prime.
His prime. It's 9 or 10 p.m.
It actually comes from Johnny Carson.
Yeah lah,
Johnny
from long
Carson
ago.
was like the
Top
he's
of the
like the
top.
Joe Rogan of back then. If you went on
Carson.
Johnny Carson's talk show and he like waved at you, set. Eddie Murphy, all his famous comedians, a lot of them
They started from there.
They SNL, but then they became like got the seal of approval from Johnny Carson. Ellen DeGeneres. You know, you can find their old stand-up they do in his show lah. So Jay Leno. So first, actually Letterman was supposed to take over from Johnny Carson. Jay Leno came in. So Letterman left and went to CBS and opened up his own show.
Oh, I see.
Right. So then Conan took over.
Leno. Supposed to take over
No,
Leno.
Conan took over Letterman's slot.
I see.
So then it's Leno and Conan. Then Conan was supposed to take over Leno. Leno was supposed to retire. Suddenly Leno came back, took back his original slot, and they pushed back Conan to his slot last time.
Yeah.
So Conan was like, "What the heck? I worked
Fucking hard
so
for this
many
shit."
years wanting the Johnny Carson slot. That's what everybody wants.
And everybody
They want
modeled
slot.
themselves over Johnny Carson also.
Yeah.
And Johnny Carson had this like really radio voice at its time. It's like, good morning, every guys. That type of thing. So it's that time where like then people emulate and then like they find their own way and then they kind of like make their own.
Like Johnny Carson interviewed like Frank Sinatra, those kind of people, you know. So Robin Williams when he was young.
Wow.
It's like the first appearance type thing, you know.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys know a lot about this shit, man.
No, like, it's because you listen to Joe Rogan. After you like kind of go down this like rabbit hole of like understanding all this shit, then you're like, wow, actually very a lot of like.
I memang like I said, I from like a teenager, I just listened to this. I watched this. So I watch all of, now not so much, but last time I used to like watch all of it.
I watched bits and pieces, but I was more on the TV series like Frasier and Becker and
same.
not Friends, fuck Friends lah. I don't like Friends.
Friends is good lah. It is
Like,
good. Yeah.
I think it's very like you just play it so that you can just sit down and don't think.
No, like Friends is like it's good because it was the first series that had that. How I Met Your
Slice of life,
How
I
I
think.
Met Your Mother is basically
Friends, but
different.
It's like pseudo friends almost. Yeah.
But the characters that Friends establish are characters that keep on repeating in all these
like
comedy
Big Bang
series.
Theory, it's the same formula in a way.
Yeah.
But I don't like it because of the laugh.
Track.
Yeah, and after a while, when you don't hear the laugh, it's like quite fucking scary how Ross says shit, and you're like, if there wasn't a laugh track, it would sound very murder-esque,
Yeah, people try to cancel Friends actually.
I don't like Friends. I'm not a fan. But I like Frasier, I like Becker, although they also have laugh track.
Wow, your humor damn atas way. Frasier, damn atas.
Bro,
kind of
Frasier
humor.
is the shit, man. I feel like he and the brother and everything and the dad.
Miles, right?
Yeah, Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good shit. But I don't think a lot of Malaysians watch that shit.
I watched it.
Bro, different because we're English speaking.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and then our dad took away our cartoons. Otherwise, I'll be a fucking just any other guy. Or I went to Chinese school.
I remember you all said you all watch Bold and Beautiful. That was my mom's shit, man.
It's such a
That was my mom's shit.
Wait, did you watch it?
Yeah lah, because my mom hogging that time. You only have one TV lah.
Yeah,
Right? We didn't have phones at the time. Everyone
wish
fight
you
for the
would,
TV. So my mom watched. We also have to watch lah. And then of course when they start kissing or what, she will close our eyes. Damn, man.
No lah, my dad used to just make us watch whatever that he watched.
Your dad watched Bold and Beautiful.
No. He watched a lot of movies, and actually, I was just telling Jen this last night. You know how long ago, right, when you watch a movie, you just see the movie, and then you're like, that's a good movie or that's a bad movie, right? And I don't know why that memory triggered. I was watching a movie with my dad long ago. I think it was Jaws or some shit like that, right? And then the credits started rolling. Then I was like, wow, those are a lot of names, man. Then my dad was like, yeah, a lot of people are involved in the movie. I'm like, do people even watch these credits? Then my dad was like, probably not. Then I'm like, wow, I wonder if there's a Jonathan name in the credits. Then he looked at me, he was like, John, there's so many names. There's bound to be a Jonathan in there. And then when I kept watching the credits, right, I was like, wow, actually there's damn a lot of people. But then now, right, if you look at YouTube, there's so much back-end production highlighted now, compared to last time. If you look at for example, voice acting or sound production, when people walk in ice, God of War, when Kratos walks in ice, fucker, there's literally a woman, right, in the studio, right, looking at Kratos walk, and she has to imitate his steps with Uggs, Ugg boots in snow, just to emulate that sound. Yeah, it's quite crazy, So I don't think a lot of people have that exposure until now, which is quite a shame. So I asked him wait, what's the most important person in the movie? Then he's like, director I think. Then he told me. Now I asked him, who's the best director out there? Stupid kid question, that thing, right? Then he's like, probably Steven Spielberg lah. So I believe him it's like
Well, Steven Spielberg directed Jaws lah, so that would make sense.
So I was like, I took it for wow, gospel, Steven Spielberg best director. Fucking watch all Steven Spielberg movies, right? I'm like, Spielberg quite rubbish. I fucking hate his shit. Always involve aliens and all that.
I think you had to watch it at the time lah. E.T. I think at the
probably
time
at
would
the
have been
time.
freaking great lah.
You know what's the saddest one or not? The saddest one is, okay, so I came back from the US. I worked in the company, I didn't like it. Then I quit. Then my mom was like, it's okay. I know you're in a tough time. Let's go to Japan. Okay? Then my uncle in Japan, he's like, hey, I got a restaurant reservation at Gompachi. I forgot what it's called, right? It's where Kill Bill was directed.
Wow.
You know the slaughter part,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
You know when she's wearing the yellow tracksuit?
What's the director's name?
Tarantino.
Tarantino, yeah.
Yeah, so
why were you not there?
I was there.
You were there?
Drew.
No, there was another
Are you
restaurant.
fucking high or what?
There was another restaurant, or maybe it's a different one.
That's a different trip really.
Oh, different
Oh,
trip.
that's the same trip, but that's at the end of the trip. That's a different restaurant. The Gompachi I confirm went on. Because
But you didn't go.
he went.
I went.
It was
Sorry, I'm
me, my
confusing the
mom,
two.
and Andrew.
Yeah.
So we went to Japan. So prior to the Japan trip, and right, before this, a bit of context, I asked my dad, hey, have you heard of Quentin Tarantino? He's like, rubbish lah, the director. All violent. So I took his word for gospel again. At 21, sorry. I took his word for gospel, don't watch. After that, my mom said, hey, got the movie, Tarantino one, Kill Bill. Then I must have just watched it to understand. Bro, I watched Tarantino, right? Motherfucker, eyes were opened, I was like, my God, this is beauty in cinema. Fucker was copying everybody, but made it his own. I'm like, goddamn. I love that shit, I feel. The whole segment of talking about English movies and all that, crazy lah. Went through that whole rabbit hole. I go to the next question.
All right.
Which platform do you focus on and why?
I mean, we are on all podcasting platforms.
YouTube, Spotify.
Yeah,
Apple Podcasts.
we started Apple Podcasts, Spotify. What's the other ones?
Is it on the Google Play?
Yeah, Google Play. Yeah.
What? Isn't Google Play?
Google Podcasts. Sorry.
Google Podcasts.
Google Podcasts.
We are not on
I
Google
see.
Podcasts.
Yeah. The only one we did start off on YouTube, but it was not sustainable. So I'm still trying to figure that out. Actually, the biggest thing I want to do now is get my stuff on YouTube lah.
Bro, you should.
I know.
You should, man. Fucking hell, man. I was like,
What are the constraints?
Well,
Video.
the video lah, the cameras lah. The cameras are tough. First thing is, like you guys have a switcher,
Yeah.
you know, so you all can just switch and then you can just. It's easy for cutting. We don't have a switcher, so to get someone to edit,
It's painful.
it's really.
I was doing that for like the longest time.
So in my team, like no one. Sharon also is actually a lawyer, so she doesn't have the time to edit lah. You know, at first she could lah because that time also she's not employed, but then now she got a job, no time lah. So we're looking at getting a switcher, but get a switcher. So we're still trying to figure it out lah. That's our plan. But it's also like we need to figure out whether our cameras would work with the switcher and things like that lah.
Right.
Because our cameras, right, after half an hour they switch off. You know.
Wow, very familiar problem.
Very familiar problem.
Yeah, so I was worried that it would not be it wouldn't be compatible with the switcher. So that's where I'm at right now lah. So I'm trying to figure that out.
Don't worry. We got you, fam.
Just found the answer to your problem.
That is literally all the problems we face in the beginning of the podcast.
Bro, it's damn annoying. You know, now if we still actually recording videos. We are still doing. So I got a huge backlog. But just don't want to edit. And the annoying thing is when we record video, every half an hour somebody has to go and turn on all the cameras.
Wow, damn
It's
familiar.
damn annoying.
It's damn crazy how familiar this is.
And it's funny, right? You know, all our previous podcasts, we did that, but nobody noticed.
Really? Yeah?
And you know what? Every time in the podcast, I'm like, sorry guys, it's half an hour. You gotta. And there's an alarm we had to set on.
Oh shit.
Motherfucker, I tell you at that time. But I tell you, it's very simple. Camera, right? Have battery, plug it to the wall. You see, look at that. The wire. It just goes to the wall. Just plug it in.
Okay.
It's USB. Just plug it in.
But the switching off is not because of the battery, right?
No, that one,
It's just a preset.
that is just that the camera will overheat after 30 minutes.
Oh.
So it's just a precaution thing lah. So
Right.
if you plug into a switcher,
That'll be
the
okay.
cameras are not recording, the switcher is recording.
Yeah.
So the cameras are just on.
I see.
Yeah. So that's one.
So it's not storing anything on the cameras.
There's no memory card.
Oh shit.
Right. But you need the switcher.
Right.
And you need the battery power operator because your battery will die regardless of whether it's like overheating or not.
Right.
So you need to have the plug into the power and you need a switcher. Then all your problems are solved, my friend.
Okay, I use my bonus to buy switcher lah.
We actually doing installment.
Installment.
We doing installment because it's expensive for me. I'm like, dude, I don't want to pay fucking like 2.5, 3K for this bullshit lah. What the fuck? Right.
Yeah.
So just do installment lah. We pay like 200 ringgit a month. I'm like 200 ringgit. Okay lah, can lah.
200
It saves me a lot of time.
Yeah.
Dude, before this, right? Let's say we do a 2-hour podcast. Example. We have to export, sync the sound with the video, put it into multicam, and then I have to do the manual switching with my computer. And I spent another fucking 2 hours listening to the conversation. That's provided the podcast 2 hours.
Damn.
Mind you, I still wanted longer format.
No wonder these guys are like, keep it concise, keep it concise.
No, it's too long. But that's why I feel. But after we got it, wow, man, I tell you, the liberation is incredible, dude.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. A lot of times when you want to start something, right, you start it and then like you have that benchmark. But then when you have that benchmark, you realize, right, wow, actually I'm going through a lot of technical difficulties, right? But if you know you can spend the money to save the time, right, the time can help you find other avenues of earning back the money anyway.
Yeah.
So I think I was
It's
caught.
opportunity cost lah.
Yeah, and dude, I spent like 6 hours with Job driving all the way around the fucking town, right, just to find this switcher, okay?
Serious ah?
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
I thought you got a contact from.
I thought you bought from
It's a
Shopee.
long story lah.
Bro,
Not Shopee ah?
don't need long story. I cut it short. He had a contact. He's like, John, my friend got switcher. I'm like, okay, we go to your friend's place. Go to the friend's place. He's like, okay, can. Then I'll pay my card, okay? Because credit card, right? Then you can do installment, right? Pay credit card. Hey, your card not working. Huh? Call bank. Bank said your card is okay. Huh? Check. But 2 hours there waiting like, how come the card can work? Then the guy is like, I'm trying to call my bank. It's my machine problem. 2 hours of just like waiting. Bro, I'm so exhausted. I'm like, Job, can we just get a switcher somewhere else? Okay, we just get the cables there. So we got the cables there. Then after that, Job was like, hey, Shopee say got this guy got this switcher. And he's in Choras also. Then I was like, okay, Joe, let's go drive there. Then the guy said, I got. Then I'm like, okay lah, installment, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I remember the last podcast I did, it was the Rafiq's podcast. When I was editing my last one, I'm like, this is the last one. Okay, smell it. Then after we did it, it's like smooth now.
So with the switcher, someone has to manually toggle. So you're manually toggling now.
Yeah, he switches between cameras.
Right.
Actually, I think yours is 3 camera setup also.
Yeah, it depends.
It's overall and then one. No, actually could be 4 also, I
It
think.
depends on the number of people that we have on.
Oh, I see. But you better check whether your camera has a mini HDMI. Because there's a mini wire that attaches to a HDMI.
Yeah. Honestly, it's Sharon's I also don't know.
Honest answer. You ask me, I don't know.
Dude, I'm a caveman, man. I'm barely surviving with it.
No, Roshan, actually I also don't know. You know, right, I've been doing videos for so long, right? I also don't know. I don't know what ISO is, I don't know what aperture is, I don't know all these things. I just know how to click record and if it's bright or too dark.
Yeah.
If that is good, it's good for me.
That's why Jane and Sharon were a big help when I first started because I really knew nuts, and Jane really helped me with the sound stuff. And Sharon, all our social media posts, she just made it legit lah. They made it so legit. So
I feel like our socials is shit lah. Our Insta is just...
yeah,
Because we are guys, bro. We just...
you don't have the experience.
Yeah, just no experience. It's like
I
you're
tried
getting
hashtags, I tried everything.
It's like you're getting a fresh grad compared to a 20-year-old accountant, It's like a 2 different...
Yeah.
They've been doing this for 20 years, bro.
Yeah. And it's really a game, you could follow people, but doesn't mean they're gonna like your stuff, doesn't mean they're gonna listen to you. So it's really weird lah.
I'm not very proactive on it as well, to be fair, because normally, right, there are podcasts who come to me and be like, hey, like my stuff and then we can like you, but I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I also don't do that shit.
Yeah. So I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do this lah.
That's why I'm really happy when podcasters I know follow me. I know it's unsolicited. Genuinely we are building a connection, here.
Because it's a community, that's the difference. But if I feel sometimes when they do it for the sake of the follow or the I'm like, are you really about podcasting? Or are you just about the social game now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm in it for the content lah. I fucking love meeting people. I love all that shit. But I don't want to play this whole game of I just want to be who I am. And then if people genuinely like it, they can like it.
That's why it's tough when you talk to influencers lah, because it feels very transactional. You're afraid to talk to influencers because they will feel like you're using them for their all that shit. So that's why I've been kind of weary of having influencers on. I have not asked anyone yet. One of the prouder things that happened in relation to the podcast for me was that we had a girl who called in who's an MMA fighter.
Wow, what the fuck?
Yeah, and she's quite young, and she won some a tournament abroad, and she's kind of she's influencer-ish lah. She has a following maybe 5-figure kind of following on Instagram and all that. But she came on the podcast and all that, all fine. But that was about a year ago lah. Then recently I had I think the episode I did with my brother and his girlfriend. We released it, and she actually reshared the post on her social.
Oh, wow.
I was like, it's I'm proud because I know that people pay her to sell their brands on her
for every
platform
post or whatever.
Yeah, people pay her to put their stuff on her platform. She did it willingly. For me, that means she really values what she heard.
True.
So it was a big. I was like, damn, that really is affirming, because for her, every post is actually money.
Yeah.
For her, that's a business, So I really valued that, and that was quite affirming for me.
Fuck it, without an influencer. Only Iheng, but Iheng also reshare.
Good enough,
Good enough, bro. The fact that he came on, I'm sure he would have listened to your stuff beforehand and evaluated before he came on. That itself is a big thing.
True. Actually,
Didn't happen soon.
Oh fuck, we gotta go soon. We haven't even fucking complete the questions. Okay, so future plans to develop the podcast? The
Switcher, 100%.
battery. Don't worry lah, bro. We're here lah.
Okay.
We got you. I think the next when we do your podcast, you will see the setup, so that we will use that footage and pass to you lah. Just use my cameras all that. That you can kind of figure it out.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Okay, now this is the best fucking question, and this is the question I fucking asked also, and I had to ask permission because Poighai was very adamant. This is damn stupid lah. Okay. This is a stupid China question, although I already know the answer, and you already disclosed this on the podcast. But how much do you earn from the podcast?
0. Negative. I lose money every month.
Yes.
Negative.
Why?
So I pay for someone to handle my sound. In fact, even Jane, when she was editing my sound, I paid her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm blessed to have John.
I paid her because I felt like she was putting in a lot of effort and time, and also she was unemployed at the time.
Oh, I
so,
see.
we just both ways lah. So I was paying her. Then after she left, I got someone else. So I continue paying the other person. So that is the biggest expense. And also you pay for like the account to host your stuff. But that's a one-off payment. I mean yearly payment. And then just like miscellaneous payments are sometimes like, especially when Sharon and Jane and Jeremy were coming over, I'll buy food for them. So all these expenses, just if you do it consistently every week, by the end of the month it becomes something lah.
Yeah.
I know.
So a lot of people ask me that, hey Roshan, your podcast, how are you earning? I'm like, no, negative.
You know Mr. Money TV?
Yeah.
You want to know how much he earns a month? Guess.
He has a big following though.
Yeah, I know. Guess how much he earns a month lah. Based on YouTube ad revenue.
I really have no idea. I don't know.
4,000.
4,000.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. It's just 5 lah.
Huh.
Yeah.
But 5 is low.
Bro, how you going to pay for your team for 5K?
Yeah.
How you going to pay salary for 5K?
And his following is huge.
That's why. It's 150
Huge
$150,
following.
I think, if I'm not
No
mistaken.
lah, maybe 50 plus thousand, I think.
Is it?
If not mistaken. I watch all his videos on YouTube.
A lot of people do. A lot of people follow him.
You see, it's surprising because people don't know that dynamic of YouTube. You think just because you do YouTube you earn money? Fucker, I do YouTube 6 years, right? You know how much I earn? 4K. 6 years, you know. Fucker. That's mad shit, okay? At any point, right? At this point, right? If anybody did this, right? They'd be like, I think I'm going to stop wasting my time already.
Yeah.
You're going to be doing it because you like it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. But a lot of people don't see this. RSS also you have to pay,
Yeah.
right? To be on Spotify. All this, you know.
For me, I want to earn money not because I want to get loaded. I want to earn money because I want the podcast to be sustainable. I don't want the podcast to end because I can't afford it. You know, so it would be great if money could come in so I could like, buy stuff that would make the podcast the way I want it. Right now, it's not the way exactly that I want it.
You just want it to sustain at this point, you know.
Yeah.
I know.
Honestly, if I can break even as well, I'll be happy, man.
Sorry, Roshan, Patreon.
Yeah, I think so. I think it helps.
I feel like the reason why I didn't, a lot of people told me to do that, but I just felt like we are too new lah. I thought build a following first and then go at it.
I think you'll never be ready. Take
Yeah.
Ken's advice, you'll never be ready. Just do it.
Because
Food for thought, I mean, it's up to
you
you.
know why? When I started it, first person to donate is MJ. Because he's like, at least you did the right
You're
thing.
on your mic.
Huh? Huh?
I can't hear you on your mic.
You can't hear me at all?
Can, but very soft.
Now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. MJ was the first person to donate 15 USD a month. Bro, 15 USD a month, right? To me, right, it's like, oh my god, 60 ringgit.
It's a lot of money, man.
That's like RSS scout team already. You know, a part of the switcher is scout team already. Wires haven't yet lah, but you know what to do. Right? Then after that, slowly lah, $3. And like people who don't even watch the podcast
Right.
also donate.
Wow.
Like Jen doesn't watch the podcast. She's like, hey, I don't have time for this shit lah. It's like 2 hours is too long for me. She's like the short content type thing.
Yeah.
But she still donates. You know, like people, my friend from Singapore, like I don't even talk to her that often. lah. Her name is Nat, right? And she donates $3. She's like doesn't even listen to it. And I give her like the video ahead of everybody. She's like, you know, you don't need to give me the video. I don't watch it. I'm like, thanks for the Patreon. Yeah, and you know what's the best? I feel the best is when you find someone, right, that like really appreciates it to the point, right, where they are like in a different country and they don't even hear the Malaysian accent for a long time. And you would know one. Maybe UK different. UK got a lot of Malaysians lah.
No, yeah, I get what you're saying.
But you get
That's
what
a
you're
different feel. Like when you travel in Europe, like I done it. I did that. I traveled in Europe. You could tell when people are from Malaysia. Like you be in Germany, you hear people speaking English. You know they're from Malaysia.
For sure.
There's a way we speak English
It's
that's
so
actually
specific.
really weird.
Yeah.
We don't. Like you don't know it until you go abroad.
Because you know when the guy say, hey, I make bread with flour, then you're like, that fucker is Malaysian lah.
But it's not only the words they use, but it's somehow the tone, you know.
Yeah.
Like the
It's
way,
quite fast.
Yeah.
We speak quite fast as well.
You speak really fast.
Yeah. Malaysians and Singaporeans, like you will between that, like you'll know that definitely
The fucker say xia, I already know. Xia or la, that's the determining factor. But I feel like a lot of people, when you find someone, right, that is in that situation and they find your content and they appreciate it, and chances are the currency is higher than MYR, the fucker is going to help you.
Yeah.
So we are very lucky. We're very lucky. But even if like, I know a couple of guys from New York. I mean not couple of guys. One guy from New York. He used to pay fucking a lot also, 50 USD a month also. But he dialed it down to 3 USD. I'm like, dude, at least it's something, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm coming up to my 1 year in podcasting, so I might just do that.
Yeah, I think so, man.
Just do it. It's free. I mean, Patreon gets a cut, but I think any amount helps for me lah, at least. So now I think I'm very appreciative lah, for me lah, at least, because like a lot of them, like they speak to me and they say, dude, I love what you do, but there are people who like, I support what you do, and that's enough, right? So I think that's good enough.
Nice.
But this is a fucking informative question so that people know that we're fucking losing money also, okay? A lot of people are like, wow, you earn no money, wow, I fucking hate those discussions. Ciao, hai. Okay, long or short format, what is your preference and why?
It depends lah. It really depends. I like both. I like both.
You like both?
I like both. I think it's different experience lah.
But podcasting? Long, short, or you prefer both also? It's okay.
I mean, podcasting, I think long form because you get more out of a long form conversation. Like the nice thing about podcast is that you see a different side. Like for example, Conan has started a podcast.
Bro, his podcast is incredible.
Yeah, and so even though I've watched Conan all these years, when he talks on a podcast, it's different.
Yeah, it's because he opens up more. He opens up more.
It's like a different perspective lah of that person. So long form for podcasting, I think is long form lah. But YouTube, I definitely like short videos. Like
Is it?
Yeah. I like
What is considered long and what is considered short?
3 hours is long lah.
So at 2:59 is okay?
Within that sphere is for me long lah.
I see.
But even long also, I say like it's not like for me it's okay lah. But short. I mean, I don't mind like watching 5-minute YouTube clips or so. I'm okay with that.
I get turned on right when I see fucking long format podcast.
Turn on.
Yeah, I
like you get an erection when you see long.
I'm like, oh my
Honestly,
god.
it's not. I'm willing to wager right on YouTube. Anything above 12 minutes is long already. I'm willing to wager on YouTube. Maybe 10 minutes is like
10 minutes is
average.
Is good. It's
yeah,
good.
it's like decent. 5 minutes. Anything below that is maybe short lah, right? But anything above 12 is intimidating to some people already.
Yeah.
Right?
People like things in size bite bits lah.
I know,
Yeah,
but you see, right? I think that's true to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Right? I totally agree with you. But then, right, when you touch a different format, when you know that this is like, let's say I'm going to do Minail the whole day, I'm just going to key in stupid data entry whole day, fuck like that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's when you don't want the short content because you don't want every 10 minutes you have to switch to the content.
Sure,
That's when you turn on the long
No, but
format.
it's like long form, short form conversation is like asking, do you like to swim in the ocean or swim in the swimming pool? I mean, it's different lah. Sometimes maybe swimming pool, sometimes ocean lah. Different feel lah.
Never the ocean.
But for podcasting, you
Never ocean lah.
Never ocean, bro.
Shark attack.
Ocean beautiful, man. Compared to
Bro, shark attack, bro. I don't want to shark attack. There's this fucking
you are
Australian.
not ocean people lah.
Bro, I'm not a nature person, bro. I'm a city person. If I go on holiday and the fucker make me pay to touch nature, I'll be so pissed, okay?
I think the concept of the ocean is like amazing. I like the concept of the ocean.
Oh, you are wild, man.
No, legit though. Have you ever thought about it? Like this ocean, like it looks so beautiful. Like it looks, it's like you see the ocean for the first time. It's amazing. It's beautiful, right? Then you imagine like I read in Indonesia, right? Because of the way the culture is, right? A lot of people don't swim in the ocean.
Huh.
So because clothes and all that. So must dress modestly. So a lot of people don't go into the ocean. Certain parts of Indonesia. So I imagine like you look at the ocean, it must look so beautiful. Then imagine the first time you go into the ocean, right? Salt water in your eyes, burn your mouth, blisters everywhere. It
Sand
sucks.
flies, coral cut you,
Yeah.
shells.
But then right, if you learn how to swim in the ocean, right, and you dive deep, right, there's freaking
Oh, you went diving, is it?
no, but I mean, even if you go snorkeling, for example, but what I'm saying is like you see something beautiful, it sucks like hell, but then there's like deep beauty even within. I feel like it's a metaphor for life, man. Don't you think so?
is a testament to this. Yeah, because my ex-boss, he's also 100% city boy. He's like, fuck nature. Then his wife one day was like, hey, you want to try diving? He's like, fuck that, I don't do diving. But she's like, we never do anything together. Can you please just fucking accommodate me for once? Then he's like, okay lor. Then he went diving and he was like, wow, man. This is fucking crazy day.
but it's-
Tattoos everywhere about ocean now. He's like, worship ocean now.
No, but it's like imagine you date someone. You like the idea of dating. You like the idea of being in love. But then when you actually fall in love, right, it sucks, man. In the sense that it's hard to sustain a relationship.
Okay,
Sure, in that
okay.
sense, yeah.
Most couples that I talk to who are like 10, 15, 20 years married, right, they say it's damn hard to
Yeah,
sustain a
yeah, yeah.
relationship. It's not like how when we first started dating. It's
Of course.
difficult.
Of course.
It's painful. It hurts. But if you're married for like 20, 30 or 40 years, your type of love is completely different, man. It's deeper. If you're able to go through all that experiences together.
Yeah.
I feel the ocean is like that. Does that make
I
sense?
think
It's a good-
Andrew and I
good
have
analogy.
heard too much at 2 a.m. playing FIFA already.
Yeah.
I still live in the same house.
You're still living in
Don't even talk to me about that. I'm alone in this now. Okay, fuck you, lah.
Dude, my parents have been married for a long time, man. And we hear too much, son. Bro, I think yes, but I think at the same time, the ocean, it can kill you lah. But love cannot kill you lah.
Love can. 100% love can kill you.
What, divorce ah? Money you need what? But not a shark bites off your arm and then like oh shit.
No, I'm just saying that I like the idea of the ocean. I think the ocean is beautiful lah.
I like the city lah. I think the city is also quite nice because you see the overlooming skyscrapers and you go inside, wow, family mart. you go deeper. Oh, this got rice ball. Oh shit, son. A coffee brand I never heard of but I like. You know, that's why I like lah. You know, you go to a park in the city, a bit of nature, you know, a bit of insects, you know, weary, but then wow, nice view. Controlled setting.
You see a park in the city, a bit weary,
but controlled setting. You know, it's like that. You know, so for me, I like that.
My brother is actually a conservationist, so he stays in the jungle.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. He studies a type of leopard, snow-clouded, Sunda-clouded leopard.
In Sabah lah.
In Sabah, so he stays in the jungle. He's like all the time in the jungle.
Does he love it?
He almost died once.
Only once? Surprised?
Yeah.
How did he almost die?
So his boss is actually is a postgrad.
Is it a white dude?
White guy from the UK, Oxford lah.
I knew it.
So they had gone trekking, and then the normal guys that followed them, the actual Sabahans, didn't follow them. So they went through a river. They were hiking, and then they passed like a stream.
Sure.
They went across, then it started raining. That stream became a full-blown river lah. So when they were crossing back, the only way is to cross back the river. So they went in. They were walking. Suddenly, his boss was like standing but moving. So then
that's it.
He was my brother was Christian lah. So his boss was like, Christian, I'm moving. So then boss swept with the water.
Oh fuck.
So then Christian also was like really careful. He also was very careful to not
get swept.
So then he walked over. Then he was just standing there. I just saw someone die.
Wait, the boss died.
He thought lah. And somehow the boss just got engaged. So then he was like,
what the fuck?
So he was walking across the stream calling Andrew his name. Andrew. Then like, Christian. Dude, he had caught, you know, like you watch the movie, he literally did it. He catch the branch, right? Before it pulls you further, you catch the branch. He did that, dude.
Oh, dude, and he's a white guy. He's literally in the movie.
Yeah, 100%.
Fuck. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That means if you didn't get home, what? Waterfall.
I wherever the water takes you lah, maybe the ocean lah.
Oh.
I don't. No.
Roshan, what the fuck, bro? You're just killing yourself. This conversation went full circle, bro. Fuck that shit. I fuck nature, okay? I'm staying in this room already. I'm like toilet. I just got shit in the corner or some shit. No, man.
Oh man.
That's why I'm not doing that. Okay. Oh, softer. Sorry. Okay. We got a few more questions. We got to close because got dinner. Right?
Okay.
My mom bought snow crab from Donkey.
Oh wow. Okay.
But I can't eat crab.
Oh, allergic.
Yeah. So I'm just going to clap hands out when I see them eat.
Yeah. Shell-based, shell type food. Yeah.
You also?
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
If I eat I can eat a little bit, but there was one time I went for a trip. They just served prawns. Every meal was prawns. I ate it. That's the first time I knew that I was really.
Your throat starts itchy, then
my
your
lips expanded. Dude, I know like Angelina Jolie, man. It's crazy.
Does this sound familiar?
It's too familiar, bro.
This is unreal. This is legit what happened to me also.
From the switcher to crabs.
Yeah, man. It's
Parallel
insane.
universe.
But you know what's weird? I didn't have this allergy until I was 13. I went to Sydney.
People grow into allergies.
Yeah.
It's normal.
It was that day, and I had it. I was, I fucking love prawn, bro. Then after I went back, I was like, why my lips so swollen? Then it started to rash. Then my throat. Then I like, oh my god. Then itch all over here. Then like that.
Right.
GG.com, man. Anyway, any future plans for the podcast?
Switcher. I just want to put my stuff on YouTube.
We test run next week. Then we'll see.
Yeah,
I feel like the question's quite repetitive. Do you think people will only qualify a success in podcasting by profit?
Of course not.
You think?
I think that's one measure of success, but there's so many others. You know, are you producing content that you are proud of? That's also very important. Are you building a following, a community? I think that's really important. Like my following is small, but one thing
1,800 followers more. Wow, you fucker.
Only on Instagram lah. That's not a measurement at all. But I think in terms of viewership, y'all are definitely way ahead of me. So, but for me, I have a small viewership base, but they are consistent lah. You know, they ride and die lah. So
Sean and Sean and who? I forgot. already.
Sean and Abigail.
yeah.
But there are a few others as well. Like they really are there like every week lah. So I just think that I should build that community more and more lah. And that,
When you have a super fan, it's good enough actually.
yeah, man.
Because you have a super fan, the fucker will wait. It's like notification. Oh, fucker got new video.
You know, if you live right now, there's so much of content. If somebody even gives you like 10 minutes of their time, right, it's
damn good.
freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Because they could be watching, you know, we as English content producers, we are competing with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, bro.
We are competing with Dave Chappelle, who has a podcast. We are competing with Barack Obama, who has a podcast.
Barack Obama has a podcast?
Yeah, with Bruce Springsteen. Yeah, they have a podcast, a series. We are competing with all these people. You know, we're competing with I don't know, Andrew Schultz or all these different people.
Wow, this guy confirmed GRE fan. Confirmed GRE fan.
We're competing with all these people. So if anybody, we are competing with Running Man. We're competing with all these different content. So if anyone even gives you like 10 minutes at a time, it's a
fucking miracle. So anyway, it's true. It's true. Now we get down to the reason why we'll probably never get sponsored. How many anime girls would you want to smash if you could choose?
How many is the question? We're changing things up, is it? Okay.
I think the follow-up is the...
But if there were two, then who would it
Good
be?
anticipation.
There's more nuance to the question now. More context to the question. I don't know whether I have a number. I mean, it's like asking me like how many girls am I attracted to. That I mean, it depends
Probably
on...
a lot, right?
A lot lah. A lot. I guess the answer is a lot lah.
But two? If two. Anime girls.
Okay, I have an issue with y'all because I felt y'all were too harsh or y'all didn't give enough respect to Hinata. I think y'all throw too much of shade on Hinata.
Roshan, I am dating Hinata, bro.
Serious?
She is Hinata, bro. Quiet, soft-spoken, same haircut, everything. Got Byakugan. Is fierce when she needs to be. She is Hinata. I already know I'm going to marry Hinata, bro. It's okay. So that's why I picked Tsunade, bro.
Tsunade is the funniest choice though. I don't know why Tsunade.
Bro, it is Tsunade, bro. My God. This is like, what kind of rare opportunity you get to fuck a grandma that looks young and has big
That's
tits.
crazy lah. I don't know lah. Okay, one thing for me, I never really vibe with the big boob.
Is
anime
it?
girls.
Is it? You're the cute.
Yeah, maybe lah. So Hinata was like,
But Hinata also quite
especially
big.
Hinata in the Boruto movie.
Oh, yo, this guy built.
No, sorry, the Naruto movie.
Oh, yeah.
You know when
with
they
the
are
scarf one, the scarf one.
Yeah.
Wow, that one really love like pure like. That's the turning point for the love arc lah. I feel.
Yeah.
In Naruto.
And wouldn't you want a girl like that as well?
Yeah, true.
I do.
Yeah.
Man, on
you
YouTube.
got her lah.
Yeah, but she don't make scarf ah.
She make one sarong for you.
She make cookies once in a while. She helps me clean the litter, take out the dog to take a shit, and I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that's great. Don't need scarf. So hot.
You sound like you're happy with her lah.
happy.
And that's a damn big accomplishment.
You know you found the one, right? When you can watch Demon Slayer with her and she go, oh fuck, that's the shit. Yeah, like yeah. That's when you know. The same vibe. Yeah.
Who's the second one?
Hinata is your first choice,
Hinata's my first
but from
choice.
movie one, from the movie one.
I think
For the love of God, don't say Naruto pre-Shippuden. There is some new level.
Not gonna lie, right? I try to be not judgmental, but that's one. That's a no for me, dog.
Time chronologically very
she put in,
important.
besides the fact that she was a child,
She look like a boy also.
she looked like a boy, dude. She like full jacket and everything.
yeah.
No lah. She older a bit lah, sikit. Second one, actually for some reason, no real second one. But there was this anime. It was called XL World. I don't know whether you all checked it out before.
How you spell it? XL like the size. Oh.
ACCEL space World. Then they had I like this anime, but it didn't finish a soul lah. But it's basically about this like kind of loser guy, and he kind of becomes the hero lah.
Oh, okay.
So there's this like really beautiful anime girl that you know.
Is her name Kuro Yu?
Yeah.
Oh, she quite cute.
Yeah. So that would be my second lah.
Oh, you like all that black hair chicks, way. Nice.
You just put it in the camera. That's
Nice. Okay, man. Any last words? Any like parting words of advice? I don't know.
Just stick together. Right? Okay, be yourselves. Don't be afraid. There'll always be brands that will follow you. You know, you just need to get the right brand.
Jacobs.
See, I think y'all will, the way your podcast has been going, I mean in the past, not where you're going in the future, y'all cannot get Jacobs. Y'all can get Hapsing.
Is it?
I think so.
Hapsing?
Hapsing, huh?
You can get Hapsing, not Jacobs. Can get
I'll
Hapsing.
go on LinkedIn. Look for the marketing wanker today. Hapsing coming for you. Coming for you. Fuck.
You need some flavor, man.
I actually know the marketing person for Jacobs.
But
Yeah,
Jacobs
but
won't
she's-
get.
yeah, but
You
she's
won't
quite
get
cheap.
Hapsing.
She's quite cheap now. I don't know. I always think, right, if we get a brand, right, that is like so on point, like a Japanese brand or some shit, right, that is like out there. You know how Japanese brands, right, like sometimes they're damn conservative, but some of them is like damn out there when, you know, when they do the ads.
Your kind of content really, you look at JRE, the sponsors he used to have, or you look at Andrew Schultz lah. I think those are the type of sponsors. I think you guys would get like men type of
Like Rexona.
yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I use Rexona.
But honestly, you would get those. I think that would fit with your brand quite well. I think like
Old Spice.
if you're
would be
following
shit.
the past, definitely colleges or you cannot get lah.
Yeah.
But you can get like Rexona. I still think can. But
X lah, bro.
Oh.
X.
or you get a Malaysian. You know, Malaysian also got their own versions now. What?
Huh?
Yeah, they
Bad Lab,
Don't know your local brands, lah, right?
Bad
got
Lab.
a lot of local brands now. You for sure can get one. So that's the thing lah.
I don't even know whether sponsor is the right way actually, because I feel like they have to be cash sponsor in order for me to say yes. You know what I mean? If it's a product and all that, like what's the point? I need the cash to fund what I need is the next step, which is the cafe and all that shit.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's very tough lah, I feel. Right? How are you going to give you cash? Like put buntings here. What the fuck? You know what I mean?
No, you should invite the Hapsing marketing guy to be the guest.
Then what, you bring biscuit?
No, you interview about his job.
Oh, you get paid for it. You get paid for it.
Oh, but you cannot say fuck and all that. You know, actually, Ming Ting's takeaway table, they had the Milo chick and that was my fucking client.
Wow.
Yeah, so like PR.
Actually,
stuff.
I like Ming Ting lah.
Is it?
I think I know. This is one of the reasons why I like y'all. Y'all really whack lah. Like y'all whack Genie Boy like shit, and I really appreciate it because it's super honest. And honestly, I don't really like. This is not to say anything bad about Genie Boy. I just don't think he's a good podcaster. He might have been a good YouTuber lah, but podcasting no lah. You know he was first number one. You know when he first came out. He was number one for a long time when he first came out. Not a long time lah, maybe a few months. Now you see he's number 50. So podcasting and you being a YouTuber is different, like different animals.
Is it?
Yeah. So I think as a podcaster, I really don't vibe with his content, but I think Ming Ting is good. I think they have good conversations, they're funny, and they manage it well.
Can you go check out what's happening?
Yeah.
I think takeaway table is like he tends to ask one question, 2 question, 3 question, and then the guest says yeah, and then he like respond 3 times also.
No, they talk about the same thing. It's all the same kind of. But that's the type of people who. That's what their followers want to listen.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So they are just they are very 1 hour. It's very
condensed
they know what they are doing. They have a
format.
They have a group of people that subscribe. They know what their people want, and so they just give it to them lah. They are a company lah. It makes sense.
It's a company.
But I think they have personality. I think they are genuinely. I think both the brothers are funny. I think honestly they are funny. So I think that part comes out lah.
I don't know. I don't
They
find them
they
funny.
play with their voices quite well. They intonate everything. So I think I like them lah. I like them.
Fair. Yeah.
Even
They are funny
Fashion Week podcast. I don't know whether you've heard of them.
Fashion Week.
It's the Lucas from Hits FM and Arnold from Hits FM.
Oh, okay. I like Lucas. Lucas.
Arnold from Hits FM and his friend Lucas. So same thing lah. Honestly, I think Arnold, I really didn't like Hits. You know, I think he and the other guy, it sounds like they don't even like each other because the thing is so curated, right?
Yeah.
But him and Lucas on the podcast is so much better than when he's on Hits FM.
Is it?
Serious, so much better. Because they don't have that same.
It's a limitation. That's what radio has, I feel. When there are too many execs and all that, I think Joe Rogan has always mentioned this. It's like when you have too many people that work in the puzzle and then there's an exec telling you how to say certain things, that's when I feel like you lose a lot of your control. And you know, right, what's the beauty of this is that you can say whatever the fuck you want. Honestly speaking, right, if Genie Boy asked him to come on my to ask me to come on this podcast, I probably would say no. I'm like, actually, I don't really like vibe with your shit lah.
Yeah.
I know it will bring me a lot of views. I know like a lot of people like pay attention. Like it's
Actually,
worth it.
that
but
might not even be the case, to be honest.
But
Because going on, it doesn't translate to. That's what I've learned lah. Even if you have an influencer on your podcast, it doesn't necessarily translate to people joining your community.
Yeah.
Then one video might have more views, but after that, what's the point?
Yes, because you don't have that specific.
But one thing I have to say, like again, I'm also not a big fan of Genie Boy's content, but becoming a podcaster and realizing how difficult it is to build a community, props to Genie Boy. He's a freaking success. Lah.
Yes, that one. Yes, I got
He's
credit where credit is due.
He's built a company out of this whole thing, so respect, and he's done very, very well. I think I used to give more flack to him because like, you know, like you're an idiot lah, like a YouTuber only what. But when you actually try to do the shit,
It's hard.
It's hard, man.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's a big challenge. Actually, I was talking to the guys last night. I was like, should set a fucking goal lah. Should hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year lah. Right? Like, why I don't have KPI? What the fuck? Even sales fella, all everybody got KPI. I don't have KPI.
Yeah, I think you all have to go. So
Yeah,
you want to
we're
wrap
gonna
up?
go. Yeah.
I'm okay.
Dude, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Hopefully we can do it. Well, we're going to do it again next
We're
week, so
gonna
we
do it
can
next
continue the conversation. Yeah, for sure. Let's continue the conversation.
Yeah.
We just like do a continue. We just stop here. Then we'll continue.
So technically you can be longer as well.
There's no transition. It's just like, what?
So you can find the part 2 of this conversation on your podcast.
Yeah, on
also.
my podcast. Oh yeah, new type of collaboration lah. Part 1 on yours, part 2 on mine.
Oh, fucking sick way sequel.
Brilliant.
Coming next week. Okay lah. Wait, how was the time?
2:47.
Not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Oh, not too bad. Actually, if you include the previous conversation that was recorded but not used.
It would have been 3. Yeah, definitely.
But thanks, man.
No worries. I really enjoyed the conversation. I hope I didn't bore anybody.
Bro, sterling conversation.
My life.
Nice.
Fucking good.
Continue this next week.
Yeah, we'll continue next
So
week.
fucking sure, bro.
At his studio some more.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah, okay. I don't know why, right? This whole time, right, we were talking, right? Normally I need to pee, right? Like, oh my god, I need to pee. But now, only end up.